to Two Tired Twats. I am Patty Rosborough, one of the Tired Twats.
And I'm the other tired twat. I'm very tired today, actually.
Carrie Carabas, say your name.
Carrie Carabas. I'm getting ready for the stupid, well, not the stupid, but the happy Thanksgiving day that I'm going to be a slave all day and night.
Well, that's your problem for actually...
I don't get an invitation from anybody else.
Make your husband cook, Mike.
If I didn't have kids, believe me, I'd be on a beach somewhere in Hawaii.
Once the kids leave, you don't do shit. I haven't cooked anything since my kids left. We have a very nice guest today, a very special guest.
Very sexy.
Very
Thank
sexy.
you.
Her
Very
boobs
skinny.
are out. Her hair is
They're
fantastic.
not out, but they're
semi-out.
there.
My cans, there's a whisper of my cans are showing.
A whisper,
Just a
thank you.
tasteful whisper. A
That-
Jew's
they are
whisper.
tasteful.
Adam noticed.
It's almost like you don't notice them right away, and then you suddenly do.
They're implied.
Adam
They're
knows.
implied.
They're
Jew's
implied,
whisper of
yeah.
my rack.
Adam,
Rachel
Adam,
Feinstein.
Rachel Feinstein is here today. Thank you, Rachel, for coming out. We were going to talk to Rachel. Should we discuss last week's show
Let's
first?
just talk real quick
and then we'll
about
get
last
to you
week.
in a minute.
Yes,
but
I can't
Just
wait. I
have
love you,
to
twats.
talk about the comic stripper. Do you know her?
No.
She goes by the comic stripper.
No.
She's a stripper and a comic.
Okay, we got a letter. Can I read very quickly
Read
the letter?
the letter.
It's very long, so I'm just going to go.
Jesus, God.
I'm
Wait,
just
you
going
got
to
it.
go to
Does
This-
she say
this-
she likes us
this
at
was
all
like
in
a-
that letter?
This was a listener email.
Yes.
Like you got a.
Daniela
Yes.
Goodman.
Wow.
I love you guys. I always look forward to new shows. I'm sorry to say this, but I found the credibility of your most recent guest highly questionable.
You know why? Because I'll tell you why.
Wait. The story that she was expelled from school because she fell asleep while using a buzzsaw, something like that, because she has narcolepsy.
And she chopped her finger off.
She goes, does that sound logical to all caps anyone? I also find it hard to believe an instructional institution wouldn't have robust safety precautions in place to prevent injuries. And if injuries do occur, they expel you? 3 question marks, exclamation point. LOL, if, blah, blah. She goes, blah, 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 blah. She didn't like her comedy. She said it was horrible. But she goes, I hope you have better guests that are funny and engaging. Like
Well,
you
we
guys.
do.
Okay.
We do have Rachel Feinstein tonight. But here's what I
Go
do.
ahead. Let's
This
talk
girl
about-
was so off the wall. How,
We had a
as
stripper
soon
on
as
last
she
week,
told
Rachel.
me, she said
my
her
heavens.
father blew his brains out in the living room, which could be possibly
could have
true.
happened.
Right, could have happened.
Could have happened.
But then she was getting raped by her mother's new boyfriend, which could have also
That
happened.
could have happened.
But then in between that time period, she got her black belt and became a sensei and opened up a martial arts school and had 12 people working under her.
In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, she had 8 people working under her, and she had $60 to her name and opened a school and could pay 8 people working under her. So
And
it-
she was the sensei. She
and-
was the black belt.
And she was homeless at 15. So when you're homeless, who's paying for your Brazilian
Sensei school.
Jiu-Jitsu?
But then the story got better. And then she got raped again. But hold on a second. If you're a black belt, you're gonna let a guy from Plainview molest you?
Well, maybe she got her black belt after.
No. Remember? And then her timeline. What happened to the Marine husband?
That was from the age of 20 to 24. So that means that she
She
was
said
a
he was in the
sensei.
Afghanistan war, but the Afghanistan war was.
Wait. What did the Marine do to her again?
She married him.
She married a
He
Marine.
didn't rape
Okay.
her.
It was a crazy.
And
show,
when
but
did she come up with the fun-loving pun, the comic stripper? When did that happen? When did that come across?
she pursued some guy for $2.5 million.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She said she got kicked out of Florida because she got a class action lawsuit against this guy who owned a strip club because he was selling girls into sexual slavery. So I said to her, but don't you have to be one of the people who's been sold off into sexual slavery to
For the
be
lawsuit, right.
for the lawsuit? You can't unless she's a lawyer. So then I listened to another.
Well, she went to Pratt without getting in.
Yeah, she went to Pratt because she just showed
She's just
up.
comic
She
stripping
showed
at
up.
Pratt?
She
showed up and they let her in.
The dean went. What did he write?
He wrote on a yellow slip of paper that she was allowed to go for free.
Right.
But wait, so when I listened to this other podcast, she says on the other podcast she was kicked out of Florida. The same story, 2.6 million. But instead of sexual slavery, it was because because she gave a guy a roundhouse kick who got fresh with her. Wait a minute. And the strip club owner sided with the guy.
I like her style. A little extra flair there. I don't mind the
The
roundhouse
guy
kick.
who got the roundhouse kick the stripper club sided with him, the stripper club owner. So then she sued the stripper club owner, and now he wanted to kill her. So she had
She escaped to New York.
She escaped. So she has two different stories for $2.6 million. One was with child.
Well, maybe she's got maybe she's got 5.2
million.
now.
That's very good. The
Oh
math,
my
very
God.
good.
All
with
of
that.
these tales just make
Now-
me want to take a nap. It's a lot of
Wait,
information.
I still like the girl because
I
she's
like her, too.
adorable.
She's
cute,
cute. Charming,
but
charming.
she's got some serious
Cocktail of issues going on.
Well, you know what? Here's what she does. She
Cocktail is the
she
word.
comes to a podcast prepared. She has stories. They're not necessarily true, but do we care if they're true?
No,
Carrie?
they were interesting.
They were entertaining.
And you know, the
People-
whole time she was talking, I was like, "Oh my god!" I was trying to reel it in, but I couldn't. Patty's going, "Oh my god!"
I believed everything.
Oh my
I believed
god!
everything.
Oh my
That
god!
is
I'm
how I
like,
am.
Patty, really? Come
Carrie-
on, Patty.
Carrie
Patty.
calls me after Carrie goes, Patty, really? Do you really? And then I'm like, wait a minute, because I am so gullible.
I called her in the car.
Yeah, she's like right after she goes, Patty, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, oh,
That
yeah,
does
that
sound a
does
little
sound-
weird.
So then I had to do my homework, and then it was
The
even-
numbers weren't crunching,
Yes,
were they?
yes,
yeah, the
exactly.
timeline wasn't adding up. I
But-
could see Carrie being like, "Are you fucking kidding
That's
me?"
exactly what she said to me. She goes, get the fuck out of here.
I go, what the fuck? This girl is out of her fucking mind. I mean, God.
But anyway, so sorry, Daniela Goodman. We cannot vouch for the veracity of our guests, but, you know.
They do come with fun-loving tales.
They do.
And she's not the only one who contacted us, just so you know. So there were many people who
That-
said something.
I don't
to
have
me.
a hard time. I'll say this for comic stripper. I don't have a hard time believing that she could have a basket of molestations under.
Me
That's
too.
how you measure molestations, right? In baskets. A bushel of molestations under her belt, and even be a black belt, but not necessarily fight the molesting using her black. She might not be able to call upon her black beltness in the active moment of molestation. I'm going to give her that.
But when she was talking about the molestations, she had a smile on her face, and I go, "Wait a minute." She goes, "But there's fun to the story." Remember, she kept saying,
Yeah,
"She
it
goes,
gets
that's not the
funnier.
funny. It gets funnier." I'm like, "Funnier when?
Yeah.
When does it get funnier? When he shoves his dick in your ass?" I'm trying to think about what part of it is funny. I just got
Carrie,
raped by my
How
mom's
did,
boyfriend.
how did you find comic stripper? How did she come to you?
Carrie found her. I'm putting this on
Because I saw
Carrie
her,
thought it
and I
would be-
thought she was adorable. I'm like, she's a comic and a stripper. How interesting!
Yes.
Because it is. If you're a really good comic and you're a stripper,
There's
you
got to
can
be a
make
story there.
Yeah.
And there
Yeah.
was a story.
There
It
was many
just
a story.
Yes.
We don't know about. But anyway, we're here with Rachel Feinstein,
Who just got married.
who just got married to a fireman.
I did.
That's a perfect kind of
She
guy.
got the calendar,
What's oh you
and she went February.
is
Mine.
He, is he in a calendar?
He's not in a calendar,
Does he have a
but I'm a
six-pack?
fire wife now. That's not
Well,
a
he's
term.
a
They've
chief.
actually asked me
He's
to
a
stop saying
chief.
that. He's a captain, but he's going to be.
Oh, I thought
he's
it was
studying to be a chief. Yeah, but
Oh my
he's
God.
he's a captain. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Captain Peter. I got the invitation.
Yes, I put it on the invitation. He's like, you don't put your rank on the invite, but I was proud. I
Oh,
was
on
a
the
proud
wedding
fire wife.
invite. You went to the
Yes, I
wedding.
went to the
Very
wedding.
exciting.
I put Captain Peter Brent, and he's like, your rank is not a thing. Like, the guys are all going to trash me for this. But I was like, I don't care. I
So
tell
what?
everyone. I tell them on planes. I'm like, I'll have ginger ale. He's a fireman. Like, I tell, I
a
work it
captain.
into everything.
Captain. You
Captain.
introduce him as this is my husband, Captain. What's his name?
Captain Brennan.
Captain Brennan.
Not Kevin.
I try to get us free upgrades. I'm like, as the wife of a first responder, I start all my sentences that way now.
Did he respond to
So,
9/11?
9/11?
No, he came in right after that. He was
He's too young for that.
He was a
Well,
little
he got
too young
lucky
for
because
that.
they're all freaking dying now. All these people are
With the
dying
cancer.
from the cancer, from the breathing in all the
Yeah.
bad air.
Yeah, he lucked
That they
out.
told them it was safe to breathe.
Of course.
Now they all have to wear their masks now. They're really strict about that.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
How'd you meet him? How do you meet a fireman? Because I bet a lot of girls want to
set
meet
up.
one.
I never
Irene
even.
Bremis, right?
Yeah, I always
Oh.
thought firemen were hot, but it never really even occurred to me that I would have, that would happen. One time, I only met one fireman in my life, and that was Irene Brennan's husband, his son, her stepson. So I'd met him through Irene, and his name, they call him Junior. And one time I called 911 because I locked myself into my apartment.
What do
I
you mean
couldn't
you
open
locked
the
it
door, like it
in?
wasn't opening properly. The
How
lock
about a
wasn't
window,
working.
Rachel? Get out on a window.
I was kind of high up. But this is the funny thing. My roommate at the time smoked an insane amount of weed. And I never smoke weed because it makes
so
me
you might have
paranoid.
gotten contact high.
Maybe. But I don't smoke weed because it makes me paranoid.
Oh.
But there was like this glass tray on the table with like a mountain of weed. So then the firemen come climbing in to rescue me. And they look at the weed. And it looks like I smoked all that weed and I locked myself in. I'm like, I swear I don't smoke, and they're staring at it like, sure,
You could have
and
blanket over your weed? You guys put a blanket over
I
your
should have
weed.
put a tasteful. I forgot about her weed because it wasn't mine. Because I don't smoke.
Right.
I'm more of a drinker. If
But
anything,
you don't even drink.
Yeah, I'll
Have
have
you
a
tried the?
beer
You
now
don't
and
get
again.
bombed.
Indicotch. What do you call it, Adam? See, maybe you get paranoid because you're with the wrong weed.
Oh, you're talking
Maybe.
about like strains.
Yes, you need a different
mean-
strain.
Everybody
that calms
always
you
says
down.
that to me, but
Yeah.
no matter what I smoke, I'm
Me
quaking
too.
and curled up in the
No.
corner.
Me too,
and
and
I
I
think my
think I
friends
can't
don't like
breathe.
me.
Go ahead, Adam.
I'm the same way. It's not a strain. It's just your personality or your brain doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm already like that. You
Yeah,
know, I'm
no
already
matter
over
what I smoke.
questioning everything, and full of like just self doubt and vague fears. So it's not good. It's not a good
I used to be
cocktail.
that way, and let me tell you, I'm not that way anymore. So
You wanted to kill yourself when you
I
smoked.
wanted
the
to
pot.
kill myself when I smoked but it was laced with shit.
Wait, you really
And
now you're enjoying it?
Oh, I love it.
Really?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay,
So
well, maybe.
calm. I'm such a nervous. It's just like
It
I go
calms
right
you,
to
yeah.
sleep, and my brain just turns off. It turns it off. Like that's like such a gift.
Maybe that'll happen to me if I try it again.
When
But
you
last
hit
time
her
it was a
age.
disaster.
When you get to my
But she set us up. So my therapist told me every week he would give me an assignment. He would
No, but
say-
he wasn't one of the firemen that came into the
No,
window.
he wasn't one of the firemen that
Oh.
came into the window, but he's friends with that guy.
Oh.
So every week, my therapist would say, ask somebody to set you up. And because I really wanted to meet someone. I'm like, no one knows anybody. It's embarrassing. I don't want to bother people. Just ask someone. That was my little assignment. So we went to a steakhouse bar, me and Irene.
She's asking everybody at this point.
Yeah, it was very sad.
Really?
There was a real
The
sadness to
doorman.
it.
Do you
Yeah.
know anybody?
Yeah, no, it was true. There was a wild desperation. I was just like bumping into people on the
But
subway.
you're so pretty. There's no desperation.
it's hard for a girl
But
comic to have a guy.
you know what
ask
it
her
is? The
out.
guys in Manhattan are douchey. The guys
Yes.
in Manhattan always think that the supermodel's going to knock on the door right when they meet you. Like you date them and they're like, oh, no, I don't want to get
Right.
serious because the supermodel is going to be knocking on the door.
And they get a lot of pudenda, right, Adam? Like when you're
Food-
done.
Is that
Mountains
is
of
that
ass.
a pasta?
Yeah, they get
pudenda?
mountains of ass, right?
They
All the
do.
comedians.
I'm sure the fireman. But I think the thing is, when he was young. I'm sure that it's good I met him when he was old because when he was young, when he was just starting his career, I'm sure he was a complete douche. But he was just, he's more tired now, and he spends
wants
Meet
to have
him
a
at that
family.
right time when
Yeah,
they want
now
to
if he's not home, it's because he's at Costco. You know what I mean? Now it's not like there's no
It's
mystery.
great.
It's just his Costco.
Well, their sex drive also gets cut in half. Right, Adam?
No.
I
Adam?
mean,
I like
yeah,
that he's the authority on
yeah.
fireman sex. Adam,
right, yeah,
the
I-
cock stay hard, Adam.
As a fire captain, I can say.
No, like since you
yeah.
now.
Well,
you,
I don't know how
when you
old
were
he is.
20,
Yeah.
to now, is
Yeah.
there a big difference?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, quite a bit. Yeah,
Kevin, I
for
see-
You're
sure.
not that interested
I
as
see
much.
no difference.
Well, I mean, I am. Here's the thing: my brain is, but I can't physically
Yeah.
always handle the job. I can't always
what? You
finish
mean
the
just
job.
one time, or you mean a couple
No,
of times?
like
in a-
multiple. Yeah, like multiple.
Oh,
times.
you're talking about
Yeah.
multiples.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, banging more than once.
Does
When
anyone
you're 20,
want to be thrice banged in an evening? Once is
When
more
I
than
was in
enough.
my 40s,
I
I
don't
did.
even want
Yeah,
the
you're
one
right.
anymore.
That's true. When I was very young, I guess I would
was fun.
appreciate a thrice bang. But now I'm once, and that's it. I'd like a
Now
nap.
it's done already.
I
Off.
need a nap after the first
One and done.
I'm actually napping while the first one's going on. It's just great.
So wait a minute.
Nobody's waking me up.
So you meet the guy.
So I go to Irene. I said we were at a steakhouse bar and we were trying. I told her to meet me at Keen's Steakhouse so we could try to meet guys. It was really sad. Somebody told me they're at steakhouses. That's where the men are. So she met me there. And
That makes sense.
And this man walked up to me. It's such a good line. I remember. If he wasn't in the winter of his life, he was like maybe I want to say like 85, 90. He was
That's not a bad thing, Rachel.
he was settling his will and
Any
he was
money?
making his
That's
final
good.
wishes
Sometimes that's
known.
good.
Yeah. So he comes up to me at the bar. There was a big painting of this really kind of like voluptuous woman above one of those old English like old French Renaissance or some shit. And he walked up to me. He's like, "I'm sorry, are you hurt? Like, is she you?" Like, it was kind of a funny line if he wasn't about to die and on a respirator. But at the same time, Irene was like, you got to be with a fireman." And so she texted her stepson. She was like, "Do you
Because they
know
have a good
fireman?"
pension, honey. They have a good pension.
That's what Irene said. It was really funny because on our first date, she brought me to this fireman Christmas party to meet him, this FDNY party. And on our first date, she was like kind of bombed with some red wine teeth, and she was sort of like watching us the entire time, way too close. And she would loudly go, "Sweater, pension sweater." And I'm like, he can hear you.
What's
like,
a sweater?
Sweetie. She
Sweetie.
calls everybody
Oh,
sweetie.
sweetie. Oh,
She
that's
goes,
hilarious.
"Sweater,
I love
pension."
Irene when she gets a little
That's so
Sweet. I've been working a lot with her lately.
She is
She's very
hysterical.
funny.
She's so fucking funny.
So wait a minute. So he comes up
She
to
even
you.
calls the crowd sweetie.
She goes,
She's
sweetie.
like, sweetie.
I love it.
She must have been a waitress at some point. When everybody calls you honey and sweetie in the.
I like it. I'll take a sweetie over,
It was
especially
kinda
over a
cute.
ma'am. I don't care for ma'am. I'd rather be called.
I
cunt
want to be
than
called ma'am. Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
No, I want sweetie,
Ma'am is
cupcake,
horrible.
sugar
Drop
tits.
and give me 20.
So what happens? He sees you. And
So her stepson knew Pete. She'd never met him, and he said, "I got this guy, and this is what Pete was told about me. This is how I was described. Extremely insulting." Pete said, "This guy called me up, and he goes, 'Do you want to meet a semi-famous Jewish comedian?'" It's not flattering. And her name's Rachel Feinstein, which is just such a heinous name, and I feel like my name is cockblocked. Like you hear that name, and you're like, no, I'm gonna need to see some pictures. I'd like to view at
You
least
do-
70
you
photos.
You're going to need pictures.
you
with
do
that
think
name.
the girl's going to sound like, "Hello, I'm
Rachel Feinstein.
You know, you do think that.
It's not hot, yeah. So
No, but you are. So when he saw you, he must have dropped his fucking cock on the floor.
He said he was like thought it was an interesting idea. So then he came to the Christmas party, and
I would have been so nervous.
I was so nervous. But I also just thought like, what am I doing? This
cares?
fireman, like he's probably like I saw a picture of him, thought he was hot, but I'm like he's probably a douche or whatever.
Yeah.
So he gets to the bar. And then he said a lot of Yiddish to me. He was like, "Oi, Gaval," like he
No,
kept
he
saying
didn't.
Yiddish words because he knew only that I was a Jew. And I'm like, I speak English. Like you don't really need to speak to me in Yiddish. But throughout the night, he kept like dispersing Yiddish phrases. Like
To
he
be
was teaching,
funny.
yeah.
It was
Sort
kind
of.
of cute. Was it cute? Because he was
I thought it was
cute?
kind of cute because he was all in his button-down, like
Yeah, and he was hot.
trustworthy date shirt, like
Right, so you'll take any of that shit. Now, if he does
exactly.
it, you're like, shut the fuck up. What do you,
Exactly.
shut up.
Now it's kind of
Try
funny.
to come. Shut up.
So
Yeah,
what was his first line to you? What did he? So this opening thing, he's just like, "Hi."
He was just like, "Oi, Gewalt" is a thing. Like he kept saying Yiddish
Oh my
things, like,
God.
and I was like, "Yeah, I speak English, but I thought he was cute because I remember at one point during the night, this old like not fully homeless but like homelish man kept wandering into the bar and getting kicked out, and I always think that's hilarious when someone's told like repeatedly to leave and comes back again. It always makes me laugh, right? So he kept getting there like, "You've got to go," and he's like, all right, I'm out of here," and then he would come back again through another entrance, and it's always made me laugh. Like I love that in 80s comedies when someone's kicked out for their worthlessness and then they come back through a wacky entrance or something. So he kept getting kicked out, and I kept teasing Pete that like that was his father, and I'm like, he wants a relationship with you post incarceration. Like he's making effort. I know it's not going to be perfect, but you've got to weave together whatever your bond is going to be. And he right away just was playful. He was like, "I know, but I'm scared and I have a lot of anger, and he's just one of those
He
guys
played
that
along.
he was like
Yes,
whatever I would
and.
start, he would go with,
So how long before you got married? You got engaged, and then how long was the engagement?
About 7 months or so.
Oh, Patty!
What?
Patty's engaged for 15 years.
15 years.
I hear that. People
I
do
needed
say
to
it's
lock
good.
down earlier.
What's
but,
the story? What?
Well, no, he did look for it. Actually, he looked for it yesterday. My birth
You
certificate.
can't find his birth certificate.
No, my birth certificate, my passport, and my social security number on my social security are missing. They're in a file, and
They're
we
in
just have
some-
to find. Unless he took them out and hid them.
He probably burned them.
That would be so horrible if he did that. Because I'm believing him. But I will go get it if we can't.
Yeah.
We are
So wait,
looking
you
for
guys live
active-
together?
15
Yes.
years.
15
Yes,
years.
He raised my children, really.
And do you ever suggest, or you like, let's put a date
Yes.
on the
I
book?
do
Yes.
every show.
Yeah, she does every show. And I
And
told
what does he do when you suggest?
He go, well, in the beginning, he said, "Oh, it's like we're married." Wait, what do you want? But then I'm like, "Look."
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Who gets the house when you drop dead? Not her.
Well, this woman came up to me. I work at an antique store, and she comes in the antique store. She's trying to sell me a bunch of shit, and I'm like, she goes, "Well, I really need the money, and do you think you could sell this for me?" And blah blah blah. And I go, "Why do you need them?" She goes, "Well, my boyfriend died. I never thought he was going to die. We weren't expecting him to die, and I never married him." This is what she says to me. She goes, "And now I'm stuck because his brother is supposed to inherit everything, and he's off the grid, so I can't
So
sell
even if he's on
the house
Patty,
or
but
anything."
Even if
until
he's on, right? Even if he's on the grid, he's going to say, "I'm not giving you anything."
Exactly. So she's stuck. She goes, "I don't make enough enough money to. So all of a sudden she said
Right.
that. I came home and I'm like, Kevin, find my birth certificate. So anyway, he's looking for the fucking birth
Find the birth
certificate.
certificate.
This is just
Kevin
like
writes Patty
what do you
is
say?
hiding the birth certificate.
I am not. No, I do want to
So
do
Kevin
it.
thinks Patty is the one who actually has cold feet.
just-
That
he-
would be an
that's-
interesting turn at the end of this romantic,
No,
fun-loving romantic
that
comedy.
is what they always do. It's like jujitsu, like
Yeah, they
Brazilian
turn it on
jujitsu.
you.
They turn it on you. I'm just
So
saying,
anyway, you did a half hour, then you did another hour. You specials, right? You have how many specials out now? You got like 5 specials out?
Yeah, like 4 specials.
4 specials.
what do you wait? You had a Netflix half hour.
I did 2 half hours for Comedy Central, 2 of
my
those
God.
half
but you
hour
did 1
specials. Then
hour.
I did an hour special for Comedy
How much
Central.
fucking material you have?
Then I did this Showtime
2
thing. And then I
hours?
did a half hour Netflix special. Yeah.
Oh my god! Now I noticed.
Do you do any of the same stuff? No. You have to do all new material?
With the 3 Comedy Central specials, there's no overlap. There is with the Showtime and the Netflix. There's like
Wait,
I
what's
did
the
some-
Showtime special?
The Showtime thing was it was me, Amy Schumer, Marina Franklin, and Nikki Glazer. It was called Women Who Kill. So it was
Yes.
like we each did 20
Oh.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
remember that
Yeah.
Now I have a question.
because I love Marina. And I don't know Nikki. I never met her. And I don't know Amy. I never met her. I was out of the city. But you're very good friends with both of them, right?
Yes,
with
yeah,
Nikki
Amy.
yeah.
Glazer too.
Amy's
Yeah.
pregnant now.
Yes, she is.
She was in the hospital for puking.
I know. She's okay though.
Oh, I puked for 9 fucking months straight.
Did you the whole
You
time?
did?
Both pregnancies. And the second pregnancy, I would puke and piss because I had no control of my bladder. So yeah, so she's gonna have to, get used to
You
it.
know,
But
it's right.
that's the sign of a healthy pregnancy.
That's
What,
what
to
they
throw
say.
up?
The baby's jumping around or something like that.
Are you going to be the godmother, or do you know? Or
We haven't talked about godmother
Oh, okay.
status.
All
I don't know.
right.
Jews don't really do. Do Jews do godmother? Should I know?
No,
I don't
you-
know. Maybe
Why do I
Jews
think
don't do
Patty?
it.
Are you
You
half
guys
Jewish
just
or
cut
something?
No,
the
I'm not.
penis in
Okay,
half.
sorry.
I've got a godchild, and I'm like horrible at it because I'm not religious.
Oh my God, I
think you
have a
to be-
million godchildren, and I'm
Yeah,
the
God
best
is
godmother.
a Christian thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you could do,
Yeah,
but
I
your
don't know if
husband
you can
could.
do it.
Your husband
Yeah.
could.
maybe. Yeah.
But you, in your specials and on stage, you wear sexy dresses. Like
But you
I
never-
dress
but
like
you
a
never-
godless whore.
But
You
you never
do.
did before.
That's
when
right.
when you first started, I used to love this kid. I used to take her everywhere, right, Rachel?
And yes, and Carrie would always. I dressed only in overalls and men's socks, like with the stripes on
I
them. I looked
remember
crazy.
you morphed into the sexy type. After I hadn't seen you for a long time, I saw you at the stand.
She was hiding it under the overalls.
I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even know you were. I'm like, I knew you were supposed to go up on stage, but I literally, when they said your name, I'm like, that's Rachel Feinstein. That I don't remember you like that. You were
Carrie taught me how to be a woman.
tight shirt.
I used to
boobs
wear
and-
only men's oversized, heinous clothes. And I remember Carrie, I had brothers growing up, and I dressed like a skater, kind of like a mountainous skater, sort of. And
I used to put my hook of clothing on her, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, "You could keep it,
Something
keep
took.
it. You could have a pocketbook." Remember when I first met her? It was Christmas time. I'll never forget it. I had a bag of. I was I was going around like Santa Claus, giving everybody presents, and she was sitting at the comics table. So she was new, and I go, "Here, this is for you. Merry Christmas," or whatever.
And you gave me a sweet little. I was so intimidated by
was it?
Carrie. You know,
Oh, of
she was
course.
like
I'm
all
intimidated
hot
by
and
her
like
now.
kind of. She had that sexy energy, and
Yeah.
she was like.
Had
I remember like somebody would say, "Well, when I first met you, I mean,
that's true.
you know, you would. I mean, right now you're not really trying to like put that out there. You're
no,
married,
I'm not.
but you.
Even
But when
if
I
I
first
wasn't
met
married.
you were like, "You motherfucker!" She was always telling somebody off, you know, like. And every time I'd tell her about a guy, she'd be like, "You tell that motherfucker he better shit or get off the pot." And I'm like, "We just went out for the first time, Kat. Like, I barely know." And she, Let me tell you something, that motherfucker."
And then I'd get you. I'd be like, "She's going on. I'm putting her on the stage."
I love that.
I used to get her.
But I didn't know anything about like men or how to dress or I could barely wash myself. I was worthless. Yeah, I was very messy, and I didn't. People would pick things off me, just pieces
I
of
would
debris.
blow your hair out, put
No,
your
Throughout
makeup.
the day,
it's like
yeah.
your dress for the comedy. You had a slit up to your thigh, and the boobs are pushed together. And
Sex sells, baby.
Now let me ask you this though: when you're on stage, aren't you afraid they're not going to listen to what you're saying because they're looking at your tits?
I mean, when I do a special, I wear like a black dress and heels. I mean, I don't think it's like I'm like a full oiled whore, but you know, I wear dress sexy for the specials. But day to day, I just wear like
I
jeans and a
could
shirt.
not. If I go up on stage,
Yes.
if I'm not wearing my pants and
Me
I
too.
feel like a guy,
Me
well,
too.
not like a guy, but I feel like a tough bitch. I cannot. I feel. I don't feel right.
Funny.
No, not that I don't feel funny. I don't feel comfortable in my own skin.
Oh, yeah.
But even as a kid, like a little girl, I remember never my mother would put dresses on me. I'm like, get this thing off me.
I hate dresses, too. I think I look terrible in dresses. I like tight pants. And maybe, but I just can't. I wore a skirt once on stage, and there were guys in the front row, and they like leaned down like this, like under, and they were looking up my skirt.
And
then
what'd you do? Did you flash them?
No, I was just like, what are you doing? Are you, but ever since then, I just thought, well, I don't want them looking up my crotch. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but maybe,
Depends.
maybe you shouldn't. Maybe,
I mean,
If
you
I'm
know,
having a bad
when
set, I don't mind them looking up
when
my
I
crotch.
started, I would always put on like some sort of Paula Poundstone blazer or some kind of
you
menopausal
you
shawl
were a
or
mess.
something. Yeah.
You were a mess. I was her mother when she got here.
Paula Poundstone will wear things that look like a circus, like the
Yeah.
guy who MCs
Yeah.
the circus. It's like a bright yellow, big, baggy coat with men's shoes and some frizzed out hair. It's
Yes.
like, what is she doing? And
That's
with a
how I was, and I
tie?
looked like I had a wet Jerry curl. My hair was insane. I'll
yeah,
show
you
you.
I
did
used
have
to
very
blow
curly
out
hair.
her hair.
I had this big, insane, hostile Jufro. Like
Now,
it was a lot.
What
Yeah.
your hair? What do? You get it?
I blow it out now, but
Okay.
but it used to be like, I mean, I didn't know how to do my own makeup. Like I put really white foundation. I had this weird ghost like face. Like it was so many problems. I was such a shit show, and I just barely knew how to be a woman in any way, and I didn't have anyone to tell me. My mom is like really liberal, and she would just be like, "Women rock," and I'm like, that's not helpful. Like I need to know how to dress and
Right.
like what kind of deodorant to buy. You know, she was just like, celebrate diversity, and I'm like, that's not addressing my problem. So Carrie was the one who was like, here's what kind of pocketbook you get, and here's how you look, and she would bring me over and just paint me until I looked normal, and I appreciated being painted by
But
Carrie.
now, are you ever afraid? Like, do you ever get like weird guys, like, because they think you're sexy? Like, do you have guys that like? Do guys
You got
private
stalkers.
message you?
You have stalkers.
Yeah,
Listen,
like a
I'm
stalker.
not. I have stalkers too. I got some weird guys. Some guy told me he wants me to sit on his face and fart while he eats me out, and I'm like, okay, where and when? Let's go.
But did he?
I do think those stalkers are going to write to you
Fuck
whether
outta
you
here.
wear a dress or a Paula Poundstone blazer.
Oh, you do?
I think that, yeah, I mean, those kinds of
They
guys.
don't care.
Yeah, no, there is one guy I get. He always starts off the emails very formally. Like he says, like, good morning, my dear. I respect what you do. And then it's also, may I sit on your face? But it always starts very regal
Right.
and very British.
Nice.
And then it ends up
Can
in,
you
yeah.
shit on him?
And
Yeah.
then it goes down.
Will
from
you sit
there.
on my face?
Now,
Yeah.
do they show up though, or they just contact you by whatever?
There was one guy that was kind of lurking, and he
Lurking.
I mean, yeah, I had to go file a police report. Yeah,
You
but he was
did?
eventually. Yes, I did. He was a problem. He was painting me a lot. You know, he was doing a lot of
Painting you?
painting, unstable painting, mailing things. He mailed it like he did some short stories written from my perspective. Once he was journaling.
Oh
They
my
were
God.
So
It's like
alarming.
doing fan fiction.
What?
Yeah,
That's
fan fiction,
scary.
exactly.
That
It
is
was like
so
me the night
scary.
of my Comedy Central special. And it was so
Oh my
hilarious
God.
how he imagined like
What you
female
were
like what
thinking?
our life is like. And he also made me sound like such a dick. It would be like, I looked at myself in the mirror and my own taut ass. Like, who talks about this? It's disgusting.
Your ass is taut, though.
That's hilarious.
It is taut.
Because I
So he was right.
Short ass. Oh my
Because
God.
I winked at myself. I looked over at my manager, Sylvia. Sylvia gets it, you know? And then it was like, I looked at myself and I said, go get him, girl. You know what to do, you little fox. Like, it was just all written from my
it's
perspective.
right.
This is the kind of thing that
I
would
gave
make me
myself these-
quit comedy.
I know.
If somebody did that, I would be afraid to show up at a club or something. I did have the guy who wanted to suck my toes, but then he went away. I didn't have to file a. If that guy had kept coming after me, that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, one of my stalkers actually. I went to. Speaking of foot fetish, I went to the cops to file a police report about this one girl. And
girl?
She was a girl.
Wait.
And she would write the
Girls are worse. I
Girls
had
are
a girl
worse.
follow me for months.
What
yeah,
do they
she
want
would write
from
these
you?
long things about how I smell and I'm stinky, and she would write to various comedy clubs saying like we had a great experience except for that she was so smelly, and then she would start domain names called like Rachel. FeinsteinFarts.com. It's so embarrassing and stupid. She would buy all these things like stinkypussholefeinstein.com. No, she didn't.
Yeah.
This is so insane.
I will show you guys as soon as we get off hundreds and hundreds of letters, not just to me, but different
Hundreds?
clubs about my stench. And it was like,
Why did she ever meet you? Did you ever meet her? She ever go down?
Carrie,
I mean,
she
like,
doesn't smell.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's the thing. It's like, but I found
Did
out.
you ever meet her in person?
Yes, I did. And
You
I'll
found
tell,
out who she was? See, I would have
Yes.
went to her house and I would have smashed the shit out of her.
Well, I went to the cops and I filed a police report. Okay, and I go in there and I was very lonely at the time. All right, and so I kind of got dressed for to go by the police station. Like I was like, what's the perfect kind of effortless victim outfit? Like still sexy, but like you're not trying too hard, So I put on like a little blouse or whatever. So I went over for my police station outing, and some of the cops were really hot.
They're
I
very
just love
sexy, a
Any
lot of
uniform, it doesn't count.
course.
Yeah, there's something about the costume.
They have a gun. They've
The
got a stick.
costume.
It's just really hot. So I go there and I sit down and I'm explaining my stalker, which again kind of makes you sort of sexy and alluring. But then I have to read the emails,
That it's a
which
girl.
are
About you
Feinstein
smelling
farts,
your
and she's
vagina.
saying fart again and again. It's so humiliating. And I'm like, she says like stinky puss hole. And I can see they're looking at me like, well, does she have a stinky? I'm like, no, I don't have a stinky puss hole.
Come here and smell it.
I found out she was harassing a local rabbi and saying the same things. She told him he had a stinky puss hole, and he's not even a woman.
Well, I might be
And-
talking about his asshole.
It's possible, and that's her thing. Is she tells people they stink, and the officer that arrested her said she stinks.
She
so
got
she's
arrested?
projecting.
Oh, she does.
She eventually did get arrested.
Where's she
But
from?
So, I can't. I don't want to say too. I'm already saying.
No,
way
but
too
Yeah,
like,
don't
much.
say
no,
too much
is
'cause
she
she might-
in this state or
No,
not a state?
she's in another
Oh, okay, I
state.
got you.
Okay.
But it was a lot of stinky fart smelling.
Was she in
emails.
love with you or in some weird way, or what was this about?
She was obsessed, but so the cop was like, "Can you read some of the emails?" So I was like, "Well, all right, boys, buckle
Sit
up."
down.
So I was
Get the lube.
So
Get
it's
the lube.
What can we do about stinky fart smelling Feinstein? She reeks of farts. We didn't feel safe at the comedy club because she was excreting stink.
See, and
No,
to me
that's
right
so
now, you
weird.
smell like popcorn. I think you smell
Thank
delicious.
you. And then
That is so weird.
the cop was like, so she got my number and she used to call me obsessively.
she got your number.
Yes, and she would call me from different people. She had an app on her phone where she could disguise her number, so she'd call me from a million different numbers.
I think that should
all
be
night long.
against the law because it's happened to me a couple of times.
Yeah, and so she would call again and again. So she calls in the police station. She's calling because that's how crazy it was getting. So the cop answers the phone and she's like, "You motherfucker!" She used to scream at the top of her lungs, "Ah, fucking stinky post hole farts!" The cop was like, "Slow down. This is a police officer." And I was so hot. I was like, "It's so hot." And he was like, "You know what you're doing right now is illegal, ma'am." And I swear to God, she switched to like the hottest voice, and she's like, "You're a cop? That's so fucking hot."
She
Like,
did know.
Yes. And then all the cops got turned on. They were like, "Yeah, like." And he's like, "Well, man, we're gonna find this girl. Is she on Facebook?" Like, they clearly wanted to see what she looked like, And she used to be hot many years ago, but things fell apart. So, but anyway,
Maybe she was
I know
jealous
how
of
that
you.
could happen.
No, you're very hot, Carrie. Carrie, you could still do what Rachel does. You could put a little black dress on. Put
Oh,
your
shut
boobs-
your face
put
with
your
my big
boobs
fat
out.
stomach.
You could, Carrie. You
have a
still
single
got it going
wrinkle.
on.
You're very hot.
My son. All right, go.
Your son.
So yeah. So anyway, but and my family, my brothers. I didn't tell my parents. My brothers thought the whole thing was so hysterical. Like they.
It is hysterical. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, my brothers.
But she could be
She used to call me
dangerous.
garbage girl. You dirty little garbage girl. Do you know you're bad little garbage, dirty bitch?
I
And
think she
so-
was getting horny by doing this. Sounds like something sexual in a weird way. This sounds like something a guy would say while he jerked
little
off.
garbage bitch. You little nasty little garbage bitch.
Yeah,
slut.
she was jerking off to this in some weird way.
So I was going on to I used my brother's Netflix just because I was too lazy to get my own. And I was like, I called my brother. I'm like, "What's your Netflix passcode?" He's like, "Don't be mad." And I was like, "Oh God."
Oh, no.
what is
What
it?"
Oh,
is it?
dirty, dirty Rachel.
What is it?
Oh,
It's
boy.
Garbage Girl 1. And I
Ah.
I hope that's not because everyone's going to be tuning into it. I hope that's not still it. Holy shit. Oh, my God. Yeah, do we have any comments? You know what I want to ask you about? Speaking of jerking off. So you opened for Lou. I was looking at your pictures, right? And there's this picture of you. Is it at Madison Square Garden? Where did you open
Madison
for him?
Square Garden? Yeah.
Was it at Madison Square
I
Garden?
opened
you
for
him?
Amy and Louie there. Yeah.
For both. Wait, were both of them on the same show?
No, 2 different shows.
So wait a minute, because I saw this picture of you, and you're like one millionth of an inch tall, and then there's this big, giant audience. Were you terrified to do that?
I was really terrified. Yeah, my friend, she does like crystal stuff, and she was crystalling over me and stuff. There's all kinds of prayers and nonsense happening.
Was there like a warm up person before you, or you went out cold?
I went up. I think I went up first. Yeah, on one of the shows. I opened for Louis. I think twice there, but the first. No, I opened for Amy and then Louis there. Yeah, and I went up first with Louis.
Now I love Louis, and I'm on his side on that whole jerking off thing. But did he ask you to jerk?
No, Louis never asked
He
me.
never did with you. That surprises me.
Not a single time.
So when did you open for him? Before the jerk off fiasco, or
yeah,
after?
yes, I went on the road with him and Joe List and Joe Mackey. We went to I don't know, 14 countries this European tour.
So you're on Louis' side.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like my experience with Louis was positive, and he was kind to me. Obviously, when people ask me about to defend Louis' whatever,
Right, what
stuff,
he did.
I mean, I'm not defending half the guys I know. Like I can't defend any of them.
all of them.
No, it's
They're
not
all-
defensible.
all
They're
of
all
them, Carrie.
jerking off.
No, they're not. They're not.
Comics.
They're not doing it.
I've seen.
But
I'm not crazy about him. She's fine with him. But
Look,
what
you know
I
what it
feel
is?
is like, yeah, go ahead.
I just feel like he asked them, and then they could have left.
I don't feel that.
I think that in general, like, when people, first of all, I feel like, so many guys that I love I've done God knows what kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I do think that in general, yeah, it's better not to do that. It's better not to,
Yeah.
to go on a set.
But
and
we
ask
all
somebody
Get a
know-
that.
hooker. Get
But
a hooker.
we all
Yeah,
know
it's not
men
good.
are a little off.
But I do think
When
that
it comes-
hopefully
when
the
it comes
larger
to this-
conversation can change the entire thing. I also think that personally, I do think just kind of closing people like a box isn't the answer. You know what I
What does
mean? And
closing people mean? Say
just like
fuck
deciding
them?
everybody's kind of canceled or something. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If you didn't do something that's going to land you in jail, shouldn't you? The larger idea be to talk to people and try to kind of change and enter a larger dialogue about that any kind of behavior that's not good instead of just you know what I mean?
I always feel though
Absolutely.
with guys who do that shit, I feel like they're compelled, and there's nothing you can say to make them stop doing it. That's really the way I feel. Like it's a weird compulsion power play, but that's my thought.
Look, Jim Norton does a lot of weird stuff. We've sat at the cellar many a nights, and he's told me stories, and I'm like, how the fuck?
yeah, well, he's an
I
odd
just
fuck,
can't.
he's an odd
But
fucking guy,
But I do have to say, my husband's not weird like that at all.
right?
He's
That's
not.
what I'm saying. A lot of guys
I've
aren't
tried
weird like
to
that.
get it out of him, but he's not. a weird.
Why was that even on the table that your husband was asking people to jerk off?
No, I'm not. I'm
understand.
just saying, like, no, I'm not even just talking about jerking off because there's other weird fetishes that guys have.
Yeah.
That Adam.
What are you talking about?
Do you have
Why
any
am
weird
I-
things? You suck feet? What do you do?
No, I'm not into anything. Well, you tease me about it all.
Well,
you tease
the
me,
ass,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's it?
Well, I mean, I think I'm just,
I think Adam's like Sam. He's a little.
No, I'm normal. Well, yeah.
Normal except for that. Like
well,
you,
normal
Yeah.
in a.
You're not a
normal.
choker, you're
I mean,
not
You're
No.
a guy. You can't be
You're
fully.
not
Oh
a-
no, I'm not into anything. No,
Hey,
nothing.
can I just ask you guys a question? This is the weirdest thing, but I don't get the whole 69 thing. I was just thinking about this the other day. I was talking to Kevin about it. I don't get why people like 69. It's like anytime I feel like I'm being choked, and then my head's being like squeezed like a fucking nutcracker, and I'm supposed to be going back and forth, and I'm supposed to be having an orgasm at the same time. What the fuck is going on with 69? Whose idea? What kind of a fucking weird? Does anybody like this? I don't understand.
I don't think anybody does.
I
that.
only
anybody
know-
do it? That was
I
like the
don't
big
think
thing
so.
when I
The
was
only
in college.
thing I know about 69 is it's on a Chinese or a Japanese fucking menu, and I'll order off of it.
But wait a minute, you've
That's
never
it.
done that.
I have when I was younger, but yes, you're
What's
right.
the
It's
point of
uncomfortable.
it?
You're getting your brains bashed in from his big fat thighs.
Yeah, from
It's
the
a foolish exercise.
It
though.
is
I mean,
foolish,
especially when
right?
you're climbing back afterward. Like it's just very silly when you're
Not
So
going.
good.
it's nothing anybody does anymore, right?
No, because you know what happens?
What?
One person on the 69 gets more into it than the other,
Right.
and then they stop, and you're like, what?
Yeah, that's
What do you mean?
get
What are you doing? You
distracted,
can't just
right.
stop. You get
Sure.
distracted because you're like, oh,
You're
oh,
right.
oh.
Yeah, if you're
So
having
now you
orgasm.
stop, or he stops, and it's not
hard to
fun.
receive and
It's
work
not
at the
fun.
same
That's
time.
Right.
true. If you're halfway there and then they stop, you're like,
Now
what the
you're
fuck
like,
are you doing?
Now I got to start from the beginning.
That's right, because you
the
can't
fantasy,
take up.
the whole thing.
You can't take up from where you left off. The fantasy.
Why do you have
You
to start
gotta
from the
start-
beginning?
Start back on the football field again.
Back on the football field. Carrie, do you take it from the whole team on the football field?
I don't know about the whole team.
All right, just a few. Just from the linebacker. Is that all?
Anyhow.
She started with the
you know,
interior
women are
lineman.
weird too, but we keep it in our heads.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're
We're
weird.
weird.
But
I
it's
do
in the
have to say
fantasy.
that. But
in the
it's in our
fantasy.
heads.
Yes.
You know, it's
Right,
like-
Rachel?
But even if you were weird to a guy, he would like it.
I know, that's the thing. Although
If
I don't know.
I asked the guy, "Hey, you mind if I jerk off in front of you?" He'd be like, "Yeah."
I know,
let's
that's true. I
go."
think they're mostly
It's
gay.
never. It's never.
I feel like I'm pretty like vanilla, you know, but like
What's vanilla?
You're
like,
very-
sexually, but like
But no, Rachel is not promiscuous. Never was.
Oh, really?
No.
You
It mi-
didn't date comics?
She
and all
did,
that?
but she would date him for like a year and a half
I like
before
make
she
out
banged
and
him.
cuddle and yeah.
Cuddle.
I would make him do these Mormon
The
sleepovers.
guy was right. It was like
Mormon
a lot of spooning, and I'd be
Oh,
like,
it's horrible.
Rachel, it's been a year. I'm not ready yet.
Even my first time I spent the night over at my husband's, he was trying to get me to come over. We're like out drinking, whatever, and I told him I was like, if I come over, you're gonna have a semi like for the next several hours.
gonna
It's not
blue
gonna be
ball.
satisfying.
'Cause
Yeah,
you're not
Blue
going to do
ball.
it.
he was nice about it though, and I came over and he was good, but I was like, this isn't good. It's not a good call for you. Like if you know,
How long were you
if
before
I was
you
your sexual
actually...
attorney, I'd recommend you don't take this deal. You know, like it's
How
not
long
good.
was it before you did the dirty deed from when you met him?
It was like over a month or so, like about a month and a half or maybe 2 months. But I came over, and the first night I remember, and he was very sweet. He didn't push. We just made
Right.
out. He was cute about it. He kind of shielded me from his erection, which in this funny
In
way.
what way?
He was just trying to like get it away for so that it was kind of cute. And we made out a lot. And then in the morning, you know when you just look around the guy's house and you're like, am I ever gonna see this motherfucker? Like I'm looking at his magnets
Many a
on his
night.
fridge.
No, because they were always in my apartment. I go.
Yeah, I'm looking around his apartment, just like what's gonna happen with that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And you kind of, and I liked him, but I go walk to the door and I said the dumbest thing. I'm still so embarrassed. I
What'd you
turned
say?
around and he goes,
Said I love you?
No, God, no. I go.
That would be the dumbest
I
thing.
go, next time I'll wear better panties. Not a sexual sentence, not like a hot thing to say, just like really kind of.
What was wrong with your panties? Cotton?
They were fine. They weren't like, they
She
weren't
farted
heinous.
in them.
They weren't heinous, but they weren't like, the ones
Sexy
you wear
panties.
when you're going to hook up.
Is that because you didn't know you were going to
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to go over there. And I didn't sleep with him. I just, blue balled him. But I told him ahead of time. I was like, if I come over, you're going to
Yes.
have a semi. I was very fair about the arrangement.
Yes.
But so I'm standing at the door and I'm like, why did I just say that? That was not even a sexy sentence. Like, next time I'll wear
Right.
better panties. It's so embarrassing.
But that gave him something to look forward to.
What is that?
That's exactly what he said. He goes
That's
in
how I would
in his
see it.
deep New York,
Yeah, of
in
course.
his deep New York accent. He goes, something to look forward to.
I love it.
Wait,
That's true, but
See,
what,
he hung on that for the next month.
what?
what does that mean? Though? Like next time I'll wear.
I meant like I'll wear sexier panties next
Okay,
time I come
so
over.
did you preface it when you said you're just gonna get blue balled? I'm
No,
not
and
wearing.
I
I'm not
said to-
wearing the right panties.
To be fair, he
Okay.
said they weren't like heinous. They weren't like elephant. Like they weren't like shocking. They just
Sure.
weren't
With the
the
elastic
ones you would have
broken.
chosen. Yeah,
Yeah.
they weren't too
okay.
jacked up.
I
They were
don't
just not
necess-
the sexy pair, like the special pair. So. But I did tell him, like, he wanted me to come over. I was like, you're just going to get frustrated because we're not going to sleep.
Yeah.
But he
I
was
don't-
nice about it.
I don't think it's a bad thing to say. I just would be confused. As to
It
what.
just didn't come out sexy. It just came out so
Yeah.
strange
All
and
right, she was
jarring.
nervous, Adam.
And
No,
then,
no, it's-
and then this is so humiliating. Then he goes, "Did you leave this here?" And he comes out of his room with
Oh, no.
the longest Goodwill receipt like you've ever seen. It was like a novella.
Goodwill. I always shop at Goodwill.
Yes. Is this yours? And it was really like, yeah, it was like it was like Anne Frank's diary on a Goodwill receipt, And it was kind of like rolled up with some nylons. First of all, who even wears nylons anymore? I think I had it for like an audition or something. See,
Oh, my
rolled
God.
up, disgraceful, heinous nylons.
my God.
And the longest good, and he just kind of put it into my hand, just this foul pocket of debris that he just placed. And I was just like, this guy's never going to call it. It was a disaster. And I'm walking down the street like, wear better panties next time. What the fuck is
So
wrong with
horrible.
me?
I made my fiance wait 6 weeks because I wanted to marry him. Well, I know I'm not married yet, but I knew that I wanted to marry him, so I made him wait. And then he invited me over, but of course he thought that he was going to bang me when I went to his house because we were having dinner. And what he did was, this is what worked on me. He bought me a phone. I think I told this before. And I was like, oh my God, he bought me a phone.
What kind
I'm
of phone?
fucking him.
iPhone?
No, it was one of It wasn't even an iPhone. It was a phone. It was a cordless phone because when
like a what?
But you have to understand that when
Like
I
an
was
AT&T?
when I was dating him, I only had a phone that had one of those squiggly cords on it, and I could only talk to him on the kitchen floor.
So he spent $20.
So he spent like 90.
I
and
don't know
it
about
was
90, but
two
20.
phones, one in the living room, and then I was like, okay, I'm banging him.
$35.99.
Got me a phone, I'm banging him. That's what worked for
And
me.
you banged him for that?
I mean, that is pretty thoughtful.
No,
That is nice.
with
Yeah.
Sam, we didn't sleep together right away.
How
'cause
long, Carrie?
I
I'm
think it
surprised.
was like almost 2 months.
Yeah, see, because you knew you liked him.
No! That's not why.
Why?
He was weird.
She
What do you
put
mean
Sam through the ringer. He was not weird.
He
She
was weird. I think
yeah.
it was gay. I thought it was gay.
What do you
And
mean? I
then,
thought he was
I don't
gay?
know. He had all these things going on in his head at the time.
What kind of
but
things
I
going on in his
can't-
head?
You know, I don't want to talk about it because the kids might watch.
It was made up in Carrie's mind. Carrie would call me like, "This motherfucker. Let me tell you something that doesn't
He's
add
gay.
up. Something doesn't add up."
Remember, I was following him. I was driving to his house.
She
at
was
fu-
following me around, like, yeah,
not, Carrie.
waiting outside. Like, he
Carrie.
said he went out to play a pool game, and she's driving behind him with
5
like 2
a.m.
cars. Yeah.
Carrie! Carrie, you're not... And did he go out to play pool?
No, I don't know where he was. He wasn't. First of all,
He couldn't get his groceries without Carrie sitting there like, "You motherfucker." Like, you know, these 2 cars behind him.
I was crazed
It was
because I
so
wanted to have a
crazy.
baby.
She used to follow these guys around. She would meet online. She would hide behind like a plant at like a Greek restaurant they were at, and like,
Come
like
on.
I
it was
had
like
a spy camera wear on me.
yeah, it was
Harry.
fascinating. It was like an episode of Three's Company. She was always hiding behind like a wacky plant at a
I
restaurant.
told Dorfman I want to do a fucking reality show, and he was like, "No, nobody will." I was going to be called Love.com, and I was in hidden cameras everywhere. Whatever.
Dating guys.
Dating guys, and they're idiots.
So he got over whatever the weird thing is you're not allowed to talk about?
Well, he was yes.
Now I want to know
Well,
what
that
it is.
so then finally, whatever. 2 months later, we were with each other, but. And there
I
was
mean, Carrie was always. I never really saw you vulnerable with any of these guys. Like, she was always running shit. Like, she had a fucking grocery list for them in the
She had an
mornings. Like,
agenda.
here's what you've got to do, motherfucker. Clean up your side of the street.
but remember,
I'm
I
sitting
was
there
on-
shaking, wondering if they're going to call. Carrie's like, "This motherfucker."
Why does everybody sound like that when
like,
they do an impression of
Run
me?
some errands. Change my tires. Like, yeah. It was never
is
a
true.
question for
They
her.
have to beat
Yeah.
people
But I
up
was
for
also
her.
with
Yeah.
Walter for 4 years, right?
Walter.
I was
And that,
with
who's
that-
Frank, who you had beat up? What's the other guy that you had him beat up?
Oh, Fred. Fred
Fred.
was 7 years. I was with Fred.
Fred, and who does the guy
So I
beat
didn't
up?
really I had to make up for lost time in between the break.
I never saw Carrie like check her phone. Like, did he? Is he thinking about? No, it was always like, "Motherfucker."
Yeah, I never really
Yeah.
did that.
But are you like that now? Are you vulnerable with your husband now, Carrie?
You know what? No. In the beginning, no, I'm not at all. He can
Not
go,
at all?
If he wants to go for a week, he can go with his friends anyway. But listen, when I was dating him, I didn't want to lose out on the sperm. So I was like, I had to
Oh,
make sure he
romantic.
wasn't a disgusting player, pig, whatever.
Right, you don't want to catch something.
So, right. But
Didn't
trust
want to
me.
lose out in the sperm is so
Okay.
good. We should play some soft
Anybody-
piano music.
Do you remember
That's-
I used
I'm
to-
gonna weep.
Do you remember I used to give them the AIDS test in my apartment?
Oh my God,
What's
that's right.
the-
She would test them.
What
Yeah, I
kind of
mean,
an AIDS test? Why would you have an AIDS test kit? Carrie,
like, it was so
Carrie, what did
disturbing.
he say to you? Did he go, what are you doing?
There's a kid in the post office in the drugstore, $40. Remember?
Yes.
Excuse me. I'm so afraid now when I sneeze, I'm going to fart too. I'm so old. Whenever I sneeze, I fart. And it's like, oh my God, if I fart on the podcast while I sneeze. Okay. I didn't fart and I'm good.
So
Go ahead.
the test was $40 at the time. So every boyfriend I've ever had to take the test, and I would get the results. I would call them in. I would mail it and call them in. But I go, you mind if you take an AIDS? This is before we even anywhere near each other.
Wait. Before you had sex with him, you wanted to take the
Absolutely.
AIDS test.
So he
Karen.
goes, yeah, I don't mind taking a test. I'll take a test. And I go, all right. And I get up. I go get it. He goes, what do you mean, now? I go, now. Right
are you waiting
now.
for?
What are you kidding me? And then he goes, I guess. I go, give me your finger now. Give me your finger. Now I'm dating the guy a month and a half. He's like, this girl is fucking weird. I was on an agenda. That clock was ticking. And I took his finger. I got the blood. I had my gloves on, the whole 9 yards. I put the blood in the 3 spots, and I put it in the mail thing, and I ran downstairs, mailed it right away, and came back. He's like, that's never happened to me before. But I'm a germaphobe.
But I'm surprised that he went along with it. I guess you're really good.
Every
in bed,
guy
Carrie.
that went along with it.
Carrie's.
I think they thought it was kind of hot the way she would yell
she's
at them
bossy.
and abuse
I
them
think
like
guys
that. I
like
think they
it,
found her abusiveness very sexy.
Adam,
yeah.
you like when women yell at you, right?
Not at all. No, no, not at all.
Well,
not
you
part
would have
of it.
liked it when I yelled at
I
you.
would go over there like Sandy from Grease, like, how did you know you really loved him? And Carrie's like, I don't love him. I want kids. Right? I'd rather love him.
Now, are you madly in love? Are you madly in love with the
she's
phone?
absolutely right. She was always looking at the romantic side of everything.
Hear
I'm
about
like,
the love.
really?
That's how I always wanted the love too. I didn't want
Yeah.
just the fuck. I wanted the love.
That's why I couldn't sleep around. It wasn't because of some religious thing. It was because I wanted to fall for somebody. Yeah.
yeah.
But now wait a
I wasn't
minute.
that cool.
You
Nah.
you had all like liberal parents though. Wasn't everything like liberal? Like you could have sex, like nobody cared. Like
Yeah, it wasn't a religious thing. It was just that like I wanted to wait till I liked a guy and trusted him. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't just do it and be like, yeah, fuck that guy. Like,
Get
no,
out.
It wasn't that cool. I
You
would,
couldn't say get out.
Yeah.
Carrie, did you ever say get out?
Oh, I have said get out.
yeah, I mean, Carrie.
Uh,
It's
you
like
gotta
a
go-
man with a vagina. That's what Kevin
One
Brennan
time
says.
I told this guy, you gotta go because I'm married. He's like, you're married? I'm like, and he's gonna be home at 5 a.m.
Carrie.
That was just one time.
Oh my God.
And then the guy called me again. He goes, when can I see you again? I'm like, I don't know. So I ended up seeing him for like 5 months.
And the whole time you thought you were married.
well, not the whole time. Up for like a month, he thought I was married. And then,
You told him?
and
That's
then,
embarrassing.
no, and then he goes, well, how come I don't see any pictures of your husband? And I'm like, I was dating him for like 5-6 months. And then I started to really like him, you know?
Well, once he finds out you're lying to
Why
him.
all this wild lying?
Yeah,
this is-
Carrie.
this is
Because I
specific.
knew he would like me more if I were married.
And was that true when you found out you were
It
married?
was
something
true. Because then
terrible
all of
about
a
him.
sudden, it was like,
He ran away.
no, he didn't run away. He stayed. Patty, really? 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 No, but we had a relationship for like either 6 or 8 months, something like that. And then it was over. I don't remember what he did to piss me off, but it was over.
Oh, you ended it with him?
Because I never trusted any guy. Remember Walter? He would be like, ah, yeah.
Yeah, they would follow around panting late at night, lurking. There was a lot of lurkers.
But
yeah.
but Walter was kind of like a perv. He would every girl that came in, he'd be like, hi.
Yes.
I
Oh,
don't
I couldn't date a
remember-
guy like
I
that.
don't
You
remember.
can't date a player. Why would...
No, he wasn't. Walter was not a player, but he would salivate over all my friends.
I don't like it.
I don't remember him doing any salivating over me. I don't remember that. I remember
Well, I
Walter would
remember
follow
it.
you around.
I remember. Well, yeah, he did. He salivated over me, and then after 4 years, he got bored. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is.
And wait,
She
I'm
had a
looking
lot
to
of
see if
control.
there's any
It was
questions.
very impressive. She would give me advice.
I did give you advice because you were
Tell
like
me
my
what to
little
do with these
sister. You were
motherfuckers.
my little. Every time she came to me with a broken heart, I wanted to go there and beat the fuck out of the guy. I'd be like, "You want me to call him?" Because
I
I
know,
felt
it's
so
horrible,
bad,
especially when you,
but
like, really like
can't-
the guy.
right? Because you can't tell them how to be when they're in it. You
Yes.
can tell them,
Did
but
you
they're
date
in
comics or no?
No, I didn't date comics.
That's smart.
I moved here with
you
this
shouldn't.
guy and his band called Dick Sister. Really smart life decisions.
Wait a minute. Oh,
and then
that's
Dick
right.
Sister
Dick
dumped
Sister.
me.
Wait,
Yeah.
Dick Sister's the name of his band?
it. Is he famous now?
Of course, he's a great national sensation.
No, is he? I don't
No,
know.
Haven't you heard of Dick Sister?
Dick
That doesn't
Sister?
mean anything. I didn't know who Vanity
Dick
was.
Sister sounds like two tired twats. It sounds like the same kind of an idea. That
Maybe he should have a podcast.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, they
maybe
went open for you.
Dick.
Yeah.
But you would think, yeah, but my mom, you'd think your daughter moving to New York 17 with Dick Sister, that there's some red flags but my mom was like, sounds sass, like celebrate, just your journey. She was just standing outside with
Oh my
some kind of dashiki, just applauding it all, just in some sort of cultural smock.
I would have
Never-
said no.
I would have never let my daughter, at the age of 17, move to New York City. Even when she went to college, I'm like,
That's
ugh.
ballsy.
I can't.
So then you came here, and then what happened? He dumped you, or you dumped him?
He dumped me, Dick Sister. And I mean, there was no thought that I was even going to go to college, though, because my grades were so awful. So
really,
it was
you
like I
seem
had
very
no other
smart to
skills.
me, though.
I feel like people assume I'm smart because I'm sarcastic and Jewish, but I have no
Yeah,
information.
Jewish people are always smart.
People kind of assign that to me. They give me that, but I don't. I have very little.
I thought all
information.
Jews are smart. Come
I
on.
like wildly failed in school. Like just, I
Really?
remember one time. I was put in a middle math class, and I was so like excited, full of pride that I, for one time, wasn't
weren't
the
in the-
lowest in something. I was like, I'm not the lowest, and then I remember the teacher calling said there'd been a grave mistake, and I
Oh,
was
that's
supposed to have
so
been in the
horrible.
lowest. It was painful, yeah.
Ugh.
But so I moved with Dick Sister. He dumped me. And then he kind of undumped me. And it was really embarrassing because I told everybody I was moving to New York City and I was going to do all this stuff. And Dick's sister, my dad had to come back and like get all my stuff and like our grocery getter caravan.
Wait a minute, you moved in with Dick's sister?
I moved in with Dick's
So
sister.
when did you come back?
Well, then he kind of undumped me and he allowed me to come back again. It was really sad. It was dark.
Didn't your mother say, don't go back with Dick's sister?
I think she might have said that, but there
Or
was
your
nobody was
mother.
putting their foot down anywhere. And then Dick's sister redumped me, so we undumped.
So
and
when did
redumped
you
me.
become? When did you
And
want?
then I rented a room with this Bengali woman I met on the Greyhound because I was weeping.
Bengali?
A Bengali woman.
Bengali.
I was weeping
she was
about
a
Dick's
Bengali.
sister. And she goes, don't cry for the man. Never cry for the man. I remember she said that. Like, just don't worry. She said, my husband is like garbage person. I don't ever cry for my husband's garbage person.
That's a good accent. That's
Yeah.
a good
She was an
accent.
Indian Carrie.
You're right. She was.
So, wait,
an
so she
Indian
took you
Carrie.
in?
She said, come live with me. I remember she said it in this, she had this really sweet, lovely voice. And she said,
Fucking go with a
come live with
stranger?
me. She goes, we'll take yoga. She says, we'll take yoga every morning.
They're
We'll
very, very Indian
toast
people are very, they're one, like they're very focused. They get focused.
And you went? You
I
went
did.
with an
I
Indian
went.
woman or you meet on a bus?
On the Greyhound,
Okay, this
absolutely.
all
She
sounds
shared
like a
her
bad idea.
croissant with me, and I told my mom about her, and my mom was like, "Sounds fantastic,
my
diversity."
God.
Your mother.
And
Oh, my
then-
God.
And I did. I moved in with her, and I rented the room. But they took good care of me. The Bengali family. They were very. We cooked. We did take yoga. She was like, "We'll take marmalade. We'll take toast in the mornings. We'll have good life." No man, no garbage man. And we did. We took toast. We
A
took marmalade.
garbage man. Garbage man has a pension, lady. All right. So go ahead. So then when did you start comedy? When did that go up your ass?
And then I started stand up around. I guess I was around like 21 or so. I used to go sit in Dangerfields and watch the shows. They would let me watch, and
Was Nancy Redmond the host back
Yes.
then?
And
She sure
I
was.
was on those
Yeah.
shows. I was on those shows all the time.
I probably hadn't met you yet, but they would let me sit in the back. And then I remember one time the bartender asked me out on a date. at
Vinny?
Who,
Dangerfields.
Vinny?
Vinny.
Maybe it was Vinny.
Vinny.
I remember he said to me.
Italian with curly black hair?
I think he was
It's
Italian.
gray now. It's gray hair.
I remember
married
he said his line to me because we went to a bar across the street, and it was like one of the.
Oh, you went with him to
I
a
went.
bar?
I went to the date. I did date this bar. Well, went out with him once. I remember he said to me, he leaned in like he was going to compliment me, and he goes, "There's three kinds of girls. There's 1, 2s, and 3s." This is a bit beginning.
This
of
is
beautiful
Vinny.
poetry.
This is totally
Wait, there's
Vinny.
1s,
This
2s,
is-
and 3s?
Yes.
This is Vinny.
I don't know if this is Vinny.
No, this is Vinny.
Go ahead.
100%.
God, let me
And he
hear. What's
goes-
the one?
He goes, "You know what, baby? You're like a 2.5. all right?"
No, he didn't. What's it?
He goes, "There's 1s, 2s, 3s. You're like
What's
a 2.5."
is 3 the worst?
I don't remember if the scale went up or down. That's a
No,
really
you're
fine
number one.
question.
Yeah, it's got to be 1. Yeah.
But yeah,
You're
I mean,
a
he
two
told
and
me I
a
was a
half,
2.5.
so you're-
But was it 2.5 good or not
No,
good?
well,
Can't be
1 is good.
You just
One
if you're
is
going to
good.
bring up the scoring system, you just tell the girl she's a 1, even if she's not.
What
don't
did you
you're
say
two
after
and a
you were
half.
2.5?
I never really went out with Vinny again after that. He kind of said he was nice, but he said some sort of vaguely insulting, haunting things.
He says the fucking weirdest
He
shit
married
all
an
the time.
Asian woman. He's married to a woman from China, so
she's
maybe
she's
she can't understand him. So that's probably a good thing. He said such crazy things.
And then I didn't want to sit in the back anymore because I felt weird because I'd
Oh,
gone out.
yeah,
He
so
said
now
that
you have
weird
to go
2.5
find him.
thing.
and
So
you,
then,
what's the next club you went to?
Then I met this comic Matt Graham in a bar on the Upper East
Never
Side.
heard of him.
And he said, I know this like open mic. It's at a bar near here, and so he invited me to come do the thing. So I went, and that was my first time doing stand up, and they put me up in this bar show, and I remember feeling like such a sensation, like I killed incredibly, but I was told afterwards that it was a disaster. Like nobody could hear me. The microphone wasn't even pointed towards my mouth. It was sort of like diagonally pointed north in front of my face.
Yeah.
But I was in such a high being up there, and I wouldn't get off. They were waving. It was an active
that's
disaster.
so
They were just
horrible.
like, get her
Light.
off the light. They're waving at the light, And I went off like just waiting for my compliments. You know when you open up your body
Yeah,
language?
you think
like,
you're
just-
funnier than you are. Yes.
Yeah, I thought like everyone was going to just pull me aside and like send me straight to show business, but instead they were like yelling like you got to obey the light, like everybody was really very angry and furious.
I look
Yeah.
at diaries that I had, and it's like my first year I was doing comedy, and it goes, I kill, I crush tonight. And I know what my act was. I've seen tapes of it. I was fucking horrible, but I'm like, in my own mind.
Yeah. It was
I
so
thought I
thrilling
was-
to be
oh
up
my
there.
God. And they were looking at you, and you're like, did you not get enough attention as a kid? Why are you a comic? What's wrong with you?
I mean, so many things.
But why? What's the need? Like, why isn't there always
I mean,
some weird
definitely
reason?
part of it was all the wild like failing, and then at one point
Oh,
I was
in
doing so
school.
bad in school that they were doing these brain scans on me, so they had to put like I did a lot of brain scanning.
Wait, because they thought you weren't
they were
smart
like,
enough.
"What's wrong with?" We have to figure out what's wrong with her.
Because your
Yeah.
brothers, they were smart.
They were smart and they did well in school, and everybody in my family went to like graduate school. School wasn't
Maybe
much
you
of an
have
issue.
ADD. Do you have-
I did
Oh,
have
okay.
ADD, and but like they thought, well, it's got to be something worse because this level of failing is so profound. And I remember they did these brain scans on me, and before my brain scan night, I was allowed to stay up all night because I think you weren't supposed to sleep before one of the scans or something. So I was allowed to like watch special movie. We had like a special pre-brain scan kind of party, me and my mom, and I wanted to watch the movie Top Secret because I used to love that movie.
What's-
With
who's
Val
in that?
Kilmer.
Oh.
And there was this scene in the beginning of Val Kilmer where all the women were next to each other in these little itty bitty bikinis, and they all kind of pop up from the sand. It's like the opening sequence, and there's these sort of tit holes in the sand where their tits were. And I remember just like that's all I wanted to do when I grew up was just make tit holes in the sand. That was like my only aspiration. I used to go on vacation with my family, just grind my non-tits in the sand. They didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to make those tit holes.
Yeah, that would have ordered another brain scan after that. I would have been like, we
It was
need
funny because
another.
we were on our way to the scan, and my mom was a therapist, so she was always kind of
Wait,
doing
what kind of
deep
a therapist?
analysis. She was a social worker, and she did therapy in like a clinic in D.C.
Oh my
She was
God.
like always oversharing or telling
We
me some
don't
dark
know
thing.
what's wrong with her.
Yeah, she said that exact sentence to my dad. I remember listening to them fight one night about the scans and how much scanning they were doing of me, and my mom was like, "She's not normal, Howard."
Listen, but here's the problem with that. Here's the
Go
problem
ahead.
with
Go,
that.
Carrie.
You embed that in a child's head, and then they believe it, and then the kid still thinks, even though you do accomplish things, and when you finally do accomplish something, you're like, oh my God, I'm not a loser after all.
Well, that's the thing I
Yeah.
think about comedy is like if you don't fit in anywhere in life and then all of a sudden you do comedy, it's like this way to fit in. Like you get to hang out with
find
other
your
people.
family, yeah.
and it's like, and then you've got this. It's like a club. It's like joining a fraternity, a fraternity.
Right,
or
you're
sorority.
absolutely right.
But like you've got
true.
this group, you're accepted because you're funny, or you're funny enough for them to like you, and then you have people to hang out with, and like because especially if you don't really have a lot of friends, and you're like
Right.
always a weirdo, and
I love all the comedians I've met.
I love.
There might
comedians,
be
too.
like two that I don't like.
Yeah, I have like 6.
But I have to tell you, everybody I hung out with back in the day at the Cellar, I love them to death still.
Yeah,
All the people on Long Island that I've
the
known,
Long Island ones are the best.
I love them to death. It's like people I meet anywhere that's a comedian. You're right. It's a special little club.
Yeah, I
You know
remember
what I
Chris
mean?
Rock talking about that, how he walks through a party going like comic, just reaching out, trying to find the next comic like a handlebar. Like, just you feel okay, normal.
Oh,
Safe.
yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't. I never felt normal.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So you
So then
feel,
all of a
but you
sudden I'm
find your own little deranged family of other people on some sort of spectrum, like yourself. At least I speak for me. You know what I mean? And then you
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
So I feel like it definitely helped remove all the years of scanning, but I mean, yeah, you're scanned like you're a grocery item, like again and again. It's going to go to your head somehow. But we were on our way to a scan one time. I remember my mom used to always say this to me, like, tell me what's on your mind right now.
I don't want to go to the scan. I want ice cream.
And I said, she goes, what do you want to do, Rachel? Like, what do you want? Like, everybody was so frantic. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, I want to, in the sand in the beginning of Top Secret.
You told her
I
about
You
the
didn't
booth.
tell her that.
She
You
told
did-
me to tell me the most honest thing that comes to your mind right now. Like,
Oh
she
my
was
God,
doing-
you
So
never
when
should
you
have told
said
her.
that to her, what'd she do?
I think she started weeping, just slowly crying in the car. I was like, what do I want to do, bitch? I want to make tit holes in the sand. Perfect matching tit holes.
But you want to know
And
something?
you had no tits back then.
No, I had nothing.
When did your tits come in?
They didn't come in until kind of late.
They're
you
not
know?
even in yet.
They look pretty in.
It's
look
the
pretty
bra.
good. How
No,
long-
they're in. They're in.
how
Now,
long
now
you
they're
married?
in.
How long you married now?
Just like 2 months.
That's it?
Yeah, just got
it.
married. Yeah.
Because you
They're
don't have
getting. She's getting banged everywhere.
you don't have to keep blowing them after you're married. You know that, right?
I heard
Did
that.
anybody tell
I
you
knew.
this? You can stop now. That's done. Right, Carrie?
You can stop now. Now you can stop.
You don't have to keep pretending, okay? It's done. I'm
You
done
don't have
blowing
to
you
touch
were
the
married.
balls, lick the balls, none of that anymore.
It's
There's no
over.
smelling the balls.
It's over.
Nothing.
Let's see if we have any comments. All right.
But
Movies are in development. Oh, we're going to find out about Joe Magaha's movies. Go to www.elusivefilmsnetwork.com.
Yeah, Joe
okay,
Magaha. There's 3 girls here that could be in your movie. The next
Put us
Charlie,
in.
it's the well, no, she's still young. But the next, the Charlie's Angels, the later years, the golden years.
Well, don't bring her in with us.
I can't. I know.
Okay,
She just said that.
actually, you shouldn't be in with me either. Jeff Norris, 3 of my favorite females. Hello, Jeff Norris.
thanks,
He'd love
Jeff.
to go on with
Stay
you.
safe out there.
Let's see. Okay, Brian Plato, if you sit on his face, wouldn't you be farting on his chest?
Probably, but
Okay.
I don't think the guy thought it through when he asked me.
Wait a minute.
It was one of Kevin Brennan's fucking followers. Every time I do Kevin Brennan's show, I come back with some sort of scab.
Hey, this is a good one. Who wrote this? Thomas Crosby. Oh, wait. Oh, no, Brian Plato. If you banged him for a phone, does that make you a call girl? Come on, that's pretty good.
That's the pun of the day.
That's
Pun of
pretty
the day.
goddamn good.
There's got to be a fun-loving tune.
Yeah, we
It's
need
the
a-
pun of the day,
It's a
my
girl-
darling. The pun of the day.
All right,
Everybody
wait, this
cool
one-
your
How
erections
much
at home.
chocolate did you bring?
I don't know. I've been eating a lot.
You eat
today.
chocolate. Now, how are you skinny, though? That's what I don't
She
understand.
throws it up after she's done.
Really? Okay, I have a question. Now, you have a, what do you call it? A podcast, right? And you have a podcast with Amy Schumer, and it's
And
called
who else? Just you and her?
No,
Keith.
Me, Keith Robinson,
Love
Nikki
him.
Glazer.
Nikki Glazer's on it, the one
No,
I
I'm
didn't
sorry,
listen
not
to.
Nikki. That was the
The other
special.
gal.
It's Bridget Everett, me,
Yeah.
Keith Robinson. I just said Nikki because she just texted me. It's Keith, me, and Bridget Everett and Amy.
Okay, but here's the thing that you need to do. Because I was looking for your podcast, and I put your name in under podcast, it doesn't come up. So Carrie goes, no, she has a podcast, and I can't find it.
It's on Spotify. I've never listened to it because I
So-
can't listen to myself.
So
It's
then I
hard.
go under Amy Schumer, and then I go, okay, if she has it with Amy Schumer, it must be on this. So I look in details, and I'm looking for your name, and your name isn't in there. So then I have to listen to the podcast, and then if you listen to the podcast, it says you're on the show. But you need
should
to have
be-
your name
should be
in
on
the
it.
details so that if people are looking for your podcast, it comes up. I'm just
That's a
saying,
really good point.
as your manager,
No, that's really helpful because I'm not good at any self
but
promotion.
she needs to put your name on there.
She needs to do whoever's running that whole podcast needs to do it.
And
you
e-
guys have a lot of listeners?
I don't know. Did you realize that I don't know? I'm sure it's.
We
so
have
funny.
8. 8
And they're listening, and they're listening
8.
live to us right
3
now.
of them are now watching, but the other 5 will watch it at some point tonight.
Okay, so that's it. But anyway, it's very funny, and
It's
actually
on
there's
Spotify.
a whole
It's called Three
So
Girls,
what do you-
One
what-
Keith.
Three
What-
Girls, One Keith.
Oh, that's great. What do you guys talk about?
I mean, just there's
Anal?
there's no. Yeah,
There wasn't a
there
whole
was an
episode
episode
on
about
anal.
anal. I haven't had the pleasure myself.
I've had any.
I've never analed,
Oh,
but there was.
Interesting.
oh,
You've been
well.
asked, I'm sure.
Yes, I remember one of my boyfriends took
No
me
one's
out for
ever
like a
tripped
candlelight
and-
dinner to ask me.
What do you
yeah.
No
mean?
one's ever tripped and stuck their dick in your ass.
Wait a minute.
All right.
He asked you over dinner, did you say?
He took me out. Yes, it was like for an elegant candlelit dinner to ask me about. Yeah,
How did he broach the subject?
he like kind of like just sort of face raked me softly, and
Face
I
raked you?
just sort of
Oh, that,
stroked
yeah.
the side of my face, and I was like, I thought he was going to propose, and
Seriously.
this is a guy before my husband, 2 before or something.
Did you
Yeah.
like this guy? Were you...
Yeah, we were pretty, but I mean, I think that he could have taken me out for a dinner for another reason. Yeah, it was a very fancy evening. Told
So
me
what
to put
did he
on
say?
something special.
So what did he... Yeah, what did he say?
He was like, "Do you know how beautiful you are?" or some bullshit, and then
Beautiful.
and I was like, shit, thanks."
Your
And then-
anuses?
And then he was like, "Would you ever consider anal?" I took you out to ask you this special question.
Are you kidding?
What'd you say to him?
No.
Okay, so you
Fucking hilarious.
listen.
Adam?
All those brain scans were a waste of money because you're not that dumb. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes. Adam, have you?
No,
how
the
do you
thing-
ask your women?
I
Because
don't.
I know
I'm
Adam
not. I'm
likes
not.
that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not into. I'm not,
not
into
an
that
ass
at all.
man.
No, I'm
He
not in-
likes asses.
I love
though,
asses, but
you don't like
I
it in the ass.
respect them enough.
Yeah,
to
my
not-
husband's an ass man too, but he's not
Wait,
trying to.
do you
anal.
lick
Yeah.
ass? Do you lick
No,
ass?
no.
You don't lick a girl's ass?
I've never really been asked. I
Have
mean,
that's
maybe
the most disgusting thing.
if she was really clean and wanted me to do it, maybe. If it was the right ass, maybe.
Wow,
would.
I can't believe he asked you over a dinner. That's
It's just
so...
that's just funny that it seems like it wasn't consistent with his behavior. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes it funny is the fact that he buttered you up. Like he really.
I know. He took me out for like a real elegant
Yeah.
evening.
Well,
yeah.
if any, that you have to do that.
It made me feel like
But
a real
wouldn't
lady.
That would kind of change the way I felt about the guy that like.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
pissed. I'm like, that's what this is for?
Does Kevin ask you to pop it in the
No, he
old
doesn't
caboose?
ask. No.
Okay.
That's not his thing.
Well,
How about your...
Some
Yeah,
guys
he's-
don't.
my-
He's
my-
Greek, your husband.
Yeah,
so
he'll
let's be honest.
say, or he'll like slip and try. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm fucking sleeping. Stop waking me up. But no.
Yeah, they think you won't notice.
You
It's
know,
right
but
near the other
I don't-
hole.
I guess maybe guys will try more after you've stretched out your vagina from having a couple of kids. Like, you know
Oh,
what?
this is so beautiful.
But no, he gave up a long time.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Luckily, my husband's not too... Yeah, he's not too crazy. Not a lot of... It's pretty traditional.
Yeah,
Pretty-
that's
That's
good.
what I like. I don't like fancy.
No,
I don't
my
like
hus-
a lot of fanfare.
My husband's pretty traditional too, but once in a while he gets a little crazy. I'm like, bitch.
I'm the crazier
know
one,
who
and I'm
you're
not even
talking
crazy. But
to.
I ordered just to spice things up. That's a really sad expression. Spice
you
things
order?
up. Seems like what would be like written in like a newspaper sex column in the 80s or something. But I ordered
Dear Abby.
exactly. Yeah, I ordered a Catholic schoolgirl outfit.
You
from-
did not.
But this is a really funny thing on Amazon, but I wasn't paying attention because of my ADD, because I'm teeming with ADD, and I accidentally ordered 15 Catholic schoolgirl outfits.
What?
So I have 15 Catholic schoolgirl outfits at my house.
Couldn't
and I
you
only
return
meant to
them?
order one, but I'm never going to return it. Like the amount of organization it would take for me to make
Okay, but
like,
you know
print
what
a
you could
return
do?
label and
You
send it
could
back to
sell them.
Amazon.
Sell them
Even
with your
that, see,
autograph.
it would require
That's
such
so weird.
organization.
Autograph them and sell them for $1,500 a piece.
And he picked up the box like, what is all this crap? And I was like, it was a Catholic schoolgirl outfit, but I accidentally ordered 15.
You are so funny.
So I have like 14 in the closet right
What
now.
do you
I-
like it? Did you try it? Did
Yeah,
you
I
like
tit
it?
around in one of them, but there's other 14 are in this dumb pile. in my
But
stupid
you'll
closet.
eventually wear them out after the years and years.
Some guys are really.
She'll be like 95 years old putting it on.
See, on me it would look so sad. Can you imagine me prancing around with knee socks and the thing? It would just be like, is she mentally ill?
I was in Amsterdam and I go to Sam. He came with me because I was doing a show and I go, I'm gonna get you a hooker. He goes and he looked at me like we were only dating like 3 months and he goes, really? I go, yeah, it's legal here and they get tested. I'm gonna get you a hooker. He's like, all right. And I go, but I'm going to pick her out.
He says, all right. That's not a good sign.
Well, he's like, all right. And we're walking by each window, and there's this one girl wearing that schoolgirl outfit. She was gorgeous. She had blonde hair with ponytails. And I stop in front of that window, and I look at her, and I go, nah, I don't like her. And I've been to Amsterdam like 5 times, so I knew every, block what.
Because you did shows there.
So I come around the corner with the big girls. I'm talking big girls. There was one big girl sitting on this chair. I go, that's it, her. Let's go. And he's like, no thanks. I go, come on. What would have been smart on his part? He should have said, okay,
Call your bluff.
call my bluff, because then I would have
You're
been like,
right.
no way, it ain't gonna.
You know what? I remember.
He's very private, my husband. Like I made him go to a live sex show in Amsterdam.
And did
'cause
he like it?
He was like, let's leave,
And
let's
it's
leave,
horrible,
let's
those
leave.
live sex shows.
I was enjoying
they're
it.
so strange and like
No,
clinical.
it's
somehow.
not. They were on
feel
stage
bad
and
for
they
the
were doing a
women.
show.
I feel like what happened to you in your childhood
too.
that
I
you have to
worry.
like
I worry.
blow a guy?
Now
or
this is different in Amsterdam. These
What's
girls do it
different
for the
about it?
art, the love of the art. Now
love of the art.
I was enjoying the show, and he's like, "Let's go, let's go." He ruined the whole time, and we had to leave.
You know, here's the thing about getting him a prostitute. I was listening to the Howard Stern show, and this girl, you know, he used to give out free things at the Cat House out in wherever it is, Vegas. So this girl wanted her father to go because he said, you know, he doesn't bang the mother that much. So the daughter's on the show. The father, she goes, I want to send my dad. He goes, you've got it. And he goes, does your wife say it's okay? And the wife's like, yeah, it'd be funny. You know, they get her on the phone. She goes, yeah, who cares? Let him do it the one time. It's funny. So they send him. They bring him back. He's talking about it on the show. He goes, they go, how was it? He goes, I loved it. He goes, I loved it.
Of course he loved it.
And then he goes, I did it with a threesome with 2 girls, and it was 2 girls on me. He goes, it was so great. It was so great. He goes, well, it's great. I'm glad you liked it. He goes, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go back again. I really liked it. And then the daughter's like, dad, because like the daughter's
You're
on the show.
married.
Yeah, she's like, but and then he goes, yeah, my wife doesn't want me to do it, but I'm gonna have to work it out because I'm going back. See, that's why you can never give them a taste. You can never give the man a taste of something that's fun and young and people, two girls blowing you out, because they're gonna want to do it again. You
One's
can't.
licking the balls.
That's right.
Yeah, no good.
You
That's no
can't.
good.
You can't agree to some stupid thing like that because you're going to regret it the rest of your life. All right, let me see if I have any other
The
questions.
girls always pretend they're cool with it. They're like, yeah, no, it's great. And they like,
Yeah, bring
yeah,
your-
my thing.
Yeah,
Right.
bring your friends.
No, you hate yourself. You're full of fear.
And
you
you know
think
what?
that this is the only way you
I
can
think
hold on
the
to
same
him.
thing about women who go like, "Oh, I'm a feminist. You know, I don't care if the guy like I can be casual. I can do casual sex." No, you can't. I don't think women can have
I
casual
can.
sex. You can?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm wrong. See, you just
Except
blew
for
my.
Carrie.
But like Brennan says, you are a guy with a vagina. That's why you can do it. So you can just like do it. But what if your heart gets involved? Your heart never.
What, Patty, on one date?
Your heart
I
never
think
gets
here's what I
involved?
think. I think Carrie could do it when you were single. Like you could do that. And you wouldn't give a shit. But I don't think Carrie could be with a guy and let him do it. No. Carrie is jealous, and she likes to
Oh,
have
yeah, I'm
control.
Oh,
jealous.
you are jealous.
I am jealous. I am jealous.
Does your husband ever flirt? Have you ever seen him flirt? No?
One time, I
Uh-oh.
almost busted his face.
What did he do?
He was like chummy with one of my friend's sisters, and I was like,
What do you
"Really?"
mean,
like,
chummy,
not chummy?
chummy?
We were at a party. I don't remember the
and
whole
he's
thing.
talking to her
and
too
he's
long.
like smiling and laughing and having a really good time. And I was like,
Really?
let me grab you by your bald
Wow.
fucking head. Like, I'm not fucking you, but nobody else is either. no, I still fuck him. But
Yeah.
I like to say I don't fuck him because it sounds funnier.
It is funnier, but you do bang your husband
I
once in a while.
I do, but once in a while.
I caught. Kevin never flirts or does any of that, but I did catch him that one time, and it was an ass that you would have liked, Adam. Where he was, it was at the mall, some mall or something.
Kevin and I would we
Bond over it.
really.
I think so.
What sort of ass
same.
demands does
Well,
he have?
you know, I have a flat Irish ass, so I'm walking up behind him, and I just see him. He's waiting for me, but he's standing there, and I see his head go from the left all the way to the right, and I'm coming from behind him. I'm about to go, hey, Kevin, but I see his head turning. I'm like, what is he looking at? And I look, and it's a Latin woman with a
Yeah.
very nice, shaky, juicy
Maybe he was
ass.
looking at her jacket.
And she's pushing a stroller, and she's leaning forward, so the ass is kind of like arched.
Prepped up.
And she's wearing yoga pants, and they're light gray, and it's bouncing. And he is looking
Well,
at
he
that.
might be looking at it like, ew.
Here's the thing. In his defense, he might have just been dumbfounded and like looking at it like he couldn't
Well, I
believe.
mean, I have to say, in terms of ass,
Guys
in
always
terms of
defend
ass,
guys.
and I start most of my sentences this way, but in terms of ass, I like travel with an ass. I like if a woman walks by, I go and I see
Yeah.
if she
If
has
it's
a butt.
juicy,
It's just like
yeah.
curiosity. I'm
It-
just
it
curious.
is.
Let's see
It
what kind
is.
of butt she has.
But
so.
I was like, what are you looking
It's
at?
like a story. You want to know the end of the story. Yeah.
And
He
what
goes,
did
I'm
she-
not looking at anything. I go, I fucking saw you looking. He said, no, I didn't.
I do think, though, in Kevin's defense, it
Yes.
could have just been so cartoonish that he, like, I would have loved it probably, but
Yes.
he might have just been like,
I don't
Look,
know.
When
Yeah.
I got the cameras to my restaurant, I zoomed in on these two girls' asses, and I go, I bet you want to hit that. He's like, yeah, with my car.
Who said that? Your husband?
Because he's not a big ass man. He doesn't
yeah.
like big asses. He likes the flat Irish ass, the no tits. He likes the boy body. That's why I think he's gay.
He doesn't like a big butt.
No.
well, even
and
though
I have a big. I have
Kevin
a big-
tells me he doesn't like a big butt, but you know. What about Bad Boys? Did you ever go for the Bad Boys, Miss Feinstein?
Yeah, Dick's sister.
Oh, Dick's sister was.
Yeah.
But
You
did
know,
that
yeah.
cure you, Dick's sister?
the original
Have you ever
bad boy.
caught? Better yet, have you ever caught Mr. Brennan looking?
I mean, I'm sure. I only assume I've seen him look at asses. I feel like every guy looks at asses. Yeah.
When he was at my house, I didn't want to tell you at the pool. He was staring at my husband's ass. I guess he couldn't believe how much hair was on it.
How do you feel being married? You like it, or was there a difference from when you were dating?
I like it. It's fun to say my husband. I feel like I'm playing pretend or something. Like, who am I
Yeah,
to
I
have
know,
a
I
husband?
can't
Remember
get
the
used
first
to
time
it.
you say
I
it?
can't get used to it either.
My
And
husband.
I'm
I
married
know.
12 years.
It seems silly. I'm like, who am I? I'm an
My
asshole. Now I have a husband. Yeah.
I got to ask my husband.
I had a friend who got married, and I remember saying to her, "How is it?" She came back from her thing. I go, "How is it?" I was like all excited for her. She goes, I hate it. And I thought she was kidding. I go, ah. She goes, seriously, I feel really trapped and I don't know what to do. Anyway, they got divorced. But I just was like, what? What? Because I had gone to the
I
wedding
know
like,
what she feels. I know the feeling.
She goes, I'm so trapped. I don't know what to do. I didn't think I was going to feel trapped. And I'm like, oh, my God, really? I mean,
That's so funny.
but yeah.
So
Yeah, I like
you
it.
want to have a baby, I guess. I mean, the clock is
plan.
ticking. Clock is ticking.
It's a plan. Yeah, hopefully we'll make a person.
No
I
brain
mean, but
scans
it's
for
like
that
husband.
person.
Husband. The thing is, you're married, and everybody says this to me. It doesn't really mean anything. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing.
What's a
but
thing?
it's not like being a mother. That's a thing.
That's
you
a
know?
Oh, to be a mother?
Yeah, you can't start your sentences like as a wife. Like nobody gives a shit if you're a wife, but as a mother, you could like start a
Yeah,
sentence.
you
that
get a
way,
lot
you
of
know?
respect when you're a mother. I think,
Yeah,
especially
like-
from other women,
You
because
always
women
hear
are like,
as a mother, like. And I remember
I've never said that as a mother.
Well, I remember watching this documentary, Princess Diana, and
As a motherfucker.
So-
As a motherfucker.
you'll never imagine anything like the love of whatever.
wait, what about Princess Diana?
There was a documentary about Princess Diana, and they were like following her around and like the paparazzi, and they were like hounding her, and she turned around and she's all like elegant and beautiful, and she was like, "As a mother, please, I just ask for a bit of privacy, please. As a mother, I'm on holiday with my children. I'm sure you can understand. As
She
a
had
mother."
class.
Yeah, and
She
I'm
had
like,
class.
like that's a
As
way.
a
But she
mother.
couldn't have been like, as a wife, a bit of privacy. No,
Yeah,
nobody gives
yeah.
a shit. Yeah, but it's like as a mother.
Because they everybody loves their mother in a way. Well, some people hate their
I
mothers.
want to be a mother just so I can say, as a mother, a bit of privacy, please. I'm on a holiday with my children. Bit of privacy.
I'm just seeing
Bits
if I
of
have any
privacy.
other questions for you. Okay, wait a minute.
I want
Wait,
you,
how
I
many-
want to see you with a big belly.
Yeah,
And I'm going to be so happy when you could always bring the baby to me and I'll watch him.
I think it would be. Yeah, I feel like I want that. Yeah,
You want kids? How many kids do you want?
8
3.
kids. 8 kids.
How many?
How many kids do you have?
2. I would have had 3, but my husband was gay.
Oh,
And that stopped me in my tracks.
I didn't know your husband was gay.
Really?
My
You're
ex-husband's
the only
gay.
fucking one.
You're the only one.
I remember
You're the only one.
Juskow, David Juskow was ranting
Oh,
to
he
me
always does.
about he gets very upset
He
when you
gets
got married.
very
He still
up-
has old
He was
anger about you
crying.
getting married.
He
Him and the groom were crying.
He like pulled me aside. He goes, "He ruined your life. He ruined your life." I go, "He didn't ruin my life. I have 2 kids. I love my kids." He goes, "You could have been somebody." He's like telling me all these things. He's like, so I don't know.
Everybody said that.
What, you know what? I love my. I love that I had kids.
Well, you have great kids. Her daughter's a comic,
Oh my
Yes.
God, that's awesome!
but she's very funny. I saw her for the first time the other night.
What's her name?
Molly Kornfeld. She was on
Wait,
a
I
show
think I
with
met-
you
I
once.
met her.
But yeah, you met her with me actually.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
were with Adrian Ayapucci, Lalapucci.
Yes, yeah.
And you guys were eating it, which was kind of rude of me to go over. But I said, hey, because I wanted to say hi to you because I hadn't seen you in a million years.
No, it made me really happy.
And I was like really quick, oh, this is my daughter. And then I said, oh, and Adrian, you're funny too. And she's like, ugh, and rolled her eyes. She didn't want me talking.
I remember
to her
we
while she
did a
was eating
show
dinner.
years ago. There was like a Red Hat ladies there. You know the Red Hat
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Society.
yeah, yeah.
And, and you
Yeah,
were always
that's
really
over
sweet
50,
to me.
over
And then I
50.
remember you coming over that day, and
Yeah.
and it made me happy. Yeah,
Oh,
your
no,
daughter
you
was
were very
adorable.
Sweet. Yeah,
She
my
was so
daughter wanted because she
sweet.
goes, I want to meet Rachel because all the girls, all the young girls.
Yeah, you're their idol now.
Yeah. I mean, that's really true. She's like, ugh.
No, I just don't see it, but thank you.
Well, it's true.
What time we at?
We're at an
About
hour.
an hour and 25.
Oh my God,
So we're good.
Yeah.
We're over.
But let's.
Oh, my.
We want to thank you for coming.
Yes,
Thank you. I had the best
absolutely.
time.
I got to see if I had any questions that I forgot to ask.
No more brain scans.
No brain scan. Okay, we already talked about that. Not bad.
you guys make me feel good because I read all the comments under my YouTube videos, and they're very painful. and
What do you
hurtful.
mean?
can't do
Wait,
that.
what do they say?
There's some guy named Mr. Twat Waffles that hates me.
Wait a minute.
You know what? If
Mr.
I had a
Twat
nickel for
He sounds
everybody who
credible.
can stand me.
We got some guy saying some shitty thing about us. I didn't even block him because I don't even give a
Wait, and
He
then
had
I
six-
answered him.
No, a different guy, Carrie. I didn't even tell
I
you about this guy.
answer these people.
There was one
I
guy
answered them.
who said,
You want to say something? I'm talking back.
he said, "Who gives a shit about their shitty podcast?" And you know what I wanted to say back? He had 6 followers, and every single tweet that he had 0 likes. You know, and
Okay,
I was
but
going
which
to
one
say
did I answer back?
that was a different guy.
He said something about us, and I said,
You
"Listen."
said, "Go fuck yourself." Or
I
something.
said, "Listen, ass bag."
Oh yeah.
He's lucky he's even on our show because he said those 2 girls aren't that funny, and Kevin Brennan was on, and I go,
Oh, yeah.
he's listen to this, big. I go, you're lucky I even let him on my fucking show about Kevin.
I know, I remember. But for me, I feel like if you ignore them, that's almost better. Do you go back at these people or what?
I don't write back to them. I never say anything back. But still, you can't even read the stuff in the first place. That's where I drive myself crazy.
Do you block it or you?
I block when they really tweet at me and
Really
they write
mean.
really harsh, hurtful.
Twitter is the meanest fucking universe in the
I
world.
gotta write back.
Yeah, see, that's what
I'm like a 12-year-old.
I know, but
I'm
then
like, suck off, fuck off, dickbag.
But then they like
I
it.
know they do because they're probably
kind of turns
12.
them on. Yeah,
They're probably 12.
Well, once I had a guy
Because
say
you really don't know how old they are. You're probably fighting with a 13-year-old boy.
I had a guy say something mean to me once, and I said something back, but it was funny. Like, I wasn't trying to be mean. And he goes, that was actually funny. Now I'm following you. It's almost like you make friends with the person who hates you, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Well, Joe Matarese has this one guy who is relentless with them. Like, he calls all the clubs telling them that he sucks. And
See, this is like
he's
that crazy
just a
person. you-
psychopath.
I remember. Yeah. It was
I feel bad. Tweeting his address.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, he got trolled by the super troll.
What's the super troll?
His name.
Don't
Mike,
even say his name.
Mike David, I think is his name.
But why doesn't he like? What's his name? What's wrong with?
I don't remember what their beef was, but I know that he's
Oh, he must
known.
have said
He's
something.
known as being like a serious troll.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I made the mistake when I did Last Comic Standing. It could have been this fun time. I quit my day job or whatever.
you
but
did
I was
right
reading,
after that show.
Yeah, I was nannying.
You were a finalist.
And but during that time, I couldn't even enjoy it. I was able to finally
Why?
quit my nanny job because I was reading everything on the comment board. I went into such a deep depression. I had no idea that people could hate
Because
me this much. I was like, I just do this fun routine. How could people be so disgusted and furious at me? I would just stay in my room and weep.
Because
Just
there's
weep
a
on
lot
the
of
bed.
It's
people
so
are
mean.
miserable with themselves, so they got to take it out on somebody.
Yeah.
People
Did
got
you
to
get
get
nice
lives.
ones too? Didn't you get nice comments?
Yeah,
only-
you know what? I did. And
but
the
you
thing
only
is,
read the.
you're
the
right.
mean ones stick.
and I remember one of the comics on the show, Mike DiStefano. Remember Mike
Oh,
DiStefano?
yeah, yeah.
I remember Mike. He was always so sweet. And
Very
Mike
nice.
was giving me a little pep talk backstage. And I'm like, these people, they hate me so much. They say such horrific things. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so haunted. They've given me new neuroses. I didn't know I had a man voice. I didn't know all these
You
things.
don't.
voice.
So,
You don't
yeah.
have.
I have a man voice. I've heard things about I can't listen to her voice anymore. I'm like, so change the fucking channel.
That's what you want to be armed with. That level of go
Change.
fuck
I know,
yourself.
that's what I
then.
wish I were like that.
Her
Change
daughter's like
the
that too.
channel.
She
Her
gave
daughter's-
it to her daughter. Your
It's
daughter's just like, oh,
exactly-
fuck off that,
that-
which is
that's
great.
exactly how she
That's how you
is.
want a girl
Well,
to be,
Because she was getting bullied in school. I go, really? These girls are bullying you? I go, what do they look like? What are these girls? You think they're better than you? I go, first of all, you're not even going to know them when you hit high school. You're not even going to know them. You're not even going to know any of the people that you know now. How many do I know since, junior high school? 0. One girl I hang out with.
Right.
One. From my high school and my junior high. One girl. So who cares what they think?
Yeah, my
Which is
youngest
really
daughter got
good.
bullied so hard, and she never told the girl off until the girl contacted her just this year. And my daughter's 20, my youngest one's like 24, and she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" My daughter was like, "Not for nothing, but you were so cruel to me. They were best friends. You got everyone to turn on me. You were so mean, and
How
I was
dare
only
you."
nice to you. And you'd come to my house, and my mother, blah blah blah." And she's like, "I'm so ashamed. I'm so sorry. I was going through terrible." Weird family thing. She had a really weird family. And she goes, "Please forgive me." And my daughter goes, "Okay." You know what I mean?
Aw,
So
I
she
love
finally.
stories like that.
But
It's really
that's
lovely. Just
but
shoot
that's what it
people, yeah.
is. It's like
You're right.
miserable,
It's just
sad
pain.
people who don't know what to do with their anger, and they take it out on
And I remember Mike was saying to me, he was like, why? I go, I read all these comments, but why is it that I read plenty of lovely, kind people that are rooting for me on this
Right,
reality show that take time out of their days to
Right.
vote for me or whatever. And then I read, and then the mean one, that's the one I can't get out of my head, And he was like, because that's the one you believe.
Oh, interesting.
He's like, that's the one you believe. You don't believe the other one, And it's still kind of,
It's true.
It's
Yeah,
so
that is
powerful,
it.
you
Yeah.
know.
It's true, because if you didn't believe, you'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. And you believe them, you're so above. It doesn't even
you're
faze
right.
you.
It's just that pattern. It's just like an unhealthy dynamic or relationship or kind of guy you're attracted to. It's just you're just
Look,
finding something you already
Even
feel
the
about
funniest,
yourself.
the funniest guys in the business all have those insecurities.
I had
Yeah.
a therapist, and I was like, "I'm so upset because this person said this and blah 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 blah." And he goes, "What if they called you a giraffe?" I go, well, he goes, would you care? I go, no. Why would I care if they call me a giraffe? He goes, because you're not a giraffe. So you know you're not a giraffe. So it wouldn't bother you if they're not that you're not a giraffe.
That's a good point.
But you don't know that you're not, stupid or not funny or not this or not
Right.
that.
Was this the therapist that you had to get naked?
No, that was a different
no. Oh,
therapist.
my
That was the
She's a fucking gullible.
Oh my god.
I thought you were bad.
What was I get naked?
Elaine
Patricia.
Waldman. Elaine Waldman. She was fucking
She
dead
would
now.
make
Thank
her
God.
take her clothes off and bend over.
Oh my.
Over back over. She'd have me go over the horse. There was a horse in her bedroom.
Oh,
Like a
my
like a horse
God.
that you go at and at gymnastics.
Where was she sitting? Behind
a
you?
pummel
She was
horse.
behind.
I
Yeah,
know.
a
pummel.
Yes, you're
So
right.
when
Oh
she
my
had
God.
a she had a tennis racket and she would beat my back. And then she would go, she'd go, are you going to take your underpants off? I go, no, I got my period. She goes, then she'd hug me really hard and she'd go, say thank you, God, for the bloodbath.
Oh,
Okay, right then and there, I would have called the police.
how old were you?
Elaine Waldman, I was
She married a
26.
gay guy.
I was 26.
I mean, do you understand?
I went to her for 6 months. And then finally she put my back
Oh.
out with the tennis racket. I go,
She would make you take your clothes off and bend over a horse. How is
She
Elaine
tried to
not
get me
die
to-
in jail? She should have died in
She
jail.
put a pillow in between my legs and tried to have me have an orgasm.
Wait, Patty paid her too. She paid her.
Paid her
She should have been
$65.
fucking paying you.
And if it wasn't in cash,
She was
she'd have
getting
a fucking
off.
shit fit. Like
She
I
was
gave her a
getting
check once.
off. She was
Yeah,
getting off on you.
She looked like a little troll.
She was finger blasting herself while all these things were going on?
I think she was using it for later. It was so,
Oh.
but like I was so gullible. Talk about
Oh,
Carrie goes,
my-
she's so I'm so gullible. I'm thinking she's
Patty,
gonna make me feel
if you
better
ever
about
listen
myself.
to our shows,
The
she
weirdest.
Oh
is
my
the fucking
God.
most
fucking
gullible.
horrible.
She went to some guy's apartment because he told her she found an ad on Backstage. Went to this guy's apartment. He made her get naked in a sleeping bag and told him Dustin Hoffman was coming to read the script with her.
Oh, my God.
And he got
It's
in the
all
bed with
horrible.
her.
I'm an idiot. I was an idiot. I'm still an idiot.
I mean,
I believe anything.
At least there was a
She
movie
believed
part there. though. I mean, this fucking lady victimized you.
Weintraub,
This
my
lady
God.
didn't even have a movie for me.
Speaking of a bushel of rapes, that's a bushel of rapes
That was
Weintraub is
terrible.
She
getting.
kept going.
my
She kept going to this therapist.
I went to her for like, and then I just said, I
6
I
months.
can't- I go, I can't-
Wait. How many? Once a month, I hope.
no, I went every week. Would
For 6 months.
Start like
6
spread
months.
eagle on the horse. How did it begin?
Yeah,
would she
yeah,
would
yeah,
she
yeah.
like ask you a couple questions and then be like, now walk towards the
because
horse?
the girl who told me to go to her, she goes, I've had so many breakthroughs because it was like the screaming kind of therapy. You would just scream and scream and scream.
screamers
Like
are so
primal-
crazy.
Naked?
primal scream?
Why
primal.
naked?
Oh my
Why naked?
Because then she could see the blockage in your body and beat it out of you. So the girl who told me to
tennis racket. That was the
Yes.
instrument of choice.
Yes, so the girl who told me said that she used to go to group therapy and
Who
they would
needs a
all
brain? This bitch needs a brain scan.
I mean, she should be the comic stripper, and yet I can't believe you've gone through this, and you seem like a well-adjusted mother. I don't understand.
all got naked in group therapy. So I said, well, I don't want to go to group therapy because I'm not going to get naked in front of somebody else. So she goes, all right, then just go to the therapy by yourself. She goes, but you'll have so many breakthroughs. So I was like, I really want a breakthrough because I was really into, like I had gone to this EST thing back then. You know, I read self-help books. I was a fucking idiot. So I knew that I had to get naked, but I said to her,
But you got naked. You were a stripper grandma.
but this is different because you're talking to her naked,
Oh.
like, and you're in. But I said I only want to go down to my bra and my underpants, and she would always try and get me to take my bra off.
Oh my goodness!
And then she would hug me, and she'd lay down in the bed and like roll.
I
on me.
can't.
Weintraub is a ferocious criminal. Like this is
Big time.
horrifying.
Eileen Waldman.
time.
Eileen Waldman.
Big time.
And
Oh, wow.
she's
And
dead.
she got
How
away
was she
with
able
it.
to go unchecked? Like
She got away with it.
I saw her on News 4 something or other. She was always on the news talking about her therapy. because it
Listen
was-
to me.
Go ahead.
I guarantee you, if you put an ad out in the Newsday or in a newspaper
Yeah.
and go, how many people feel violated by Elaine Trapp, whatever her stupid
Waldman.
name?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Waldman. 9, all her patients will come forward and go, yeah, I was
She's
a
crazy.
victim. She victimized me too. It's like now all the altar
I know.
boys are coming forward.
I know. With
I'm
the,
sh-
the last thing with Elaine Woolman, then we should probably go. But the last thing with Elaine Woolman, I go, I'm going to have to stop coming. She goes, why? I go, because you put my back out. She goes, I didn't put your back out. I go, yes, you did. You put my back out. I'm going to a chiropractor now because of her. And she goes, why didn't you tell me the real reason you're not coming? I go, the real reason? She goes, you know the real reason. I go, I know the real reason? She goes, tell me what the real reason is. I go, I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, why don't you tell me what the real reason is? I go, what's the real reason? She goes, you hate me. I go, what? She goes, you hate me. I go, Elaine. I go, I don't hate
Elaine
you.
is such a great name.
I go, you put my back out. I don't hate you. She goes, you hate me. She goes, say it. Say you hate me. I go, I'm not saying I hate you. She goes, say you hate me. Say you hate me. Say, and she kept saying it. And I go, Elaine. She goes, yes. I go, I
need therapy.
fucking hate you. And then I hung up the phone.
Wait, but she probably
Because I had to get her off the phone.
What if she videotaped you in her room?
She could have.
You don't know.
Maybe
There
that's
could have
been sold off
cameras.
into Japanese porn. Who the fuck knows what she did?
My goodness.
Well,
Oh,
she's
my
beating me with a
stars,
thing.
Elaine.
Anyway.
Okay. Where are you going to be? What do you want to promote?
What are you going to be this weekend? Are you at the cellar?
terrible.
Where are you?
Yes, I'll be at the Comedy Cellar. I guess they could watch my Netflix special. It's part of a half-hour series called The Stand-Ups, Season 3.
Nice.
So they go to that, and then they got to scroll down and then see
find my
you
name.
in that.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Perfect.
My goodness,
And
Elaine.
Carrie, where
Oh,
are you
dear.
going to be?
I'm going to be. Where am I going to be? I'm at the Morristown Theater in Morristown, New Jersey.
Very nice.
And then
I love that place.
I don't know where I am Saturday.
Sandy
I can't
Marks?
remember.
Sandy Marks?
Yeah, I'm with Sandy Marks.
I got to
yeah.
go there.
So, go ahead. Where are you?
Okay. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be at Lucy's Laugh Lounge. Please come, Pleasantville, New York. If you're anywhere in the area or if you want to drive, please come there. I'm headlining. And then on the 30th.
You don't have to say you headlining. We all know you headline. You've been
just thought
doing
I'd
this
throw-
45
I just thought
years.
I'd throw that in. I don't know. I was trying to
Your
feel
calendar is a masterpiece.
It is, isn't it?
What
And
would
then
Elaine
I'm
have to say
gonna
about
be
that?
That's like something you would carry.
in Glens Falls
That-
on Friday at the Queensberry
She's got
Hotel.
the 10 Commandments. I'm gonna be
At the
Jesus.
Queensberry Hotel. So if you're around Glens Falls, please come to that.
That
Is that
calendar
this
is
weekend?
more impressive than my Goodwill receipt.
Oh no, that's next
My
weekend.
never-ending
I'm at
Goodwill receipt.
I'm
This
at Glens
page
Falls.
fell out, so she doesn't know where she is the other half of the month.
You know what? I thought that I was
Sunday through Wednesday, she's confused.
I am. I always
If
put
she
the wrong
loses
thing in.
this,
So yeah, Glens Falls is not this weekend; it's next weekend. But the Lucy's Laugh Lounge is tomorrow. And what else?
quickly, we want you guys to
Patreon.
subscribe to our iTunes channel. Please subscribe. Please send us any money you have sparing in your pocket. Change 59 cents.
Yes,
a
to help
dollar.
help Patricia heal
Give us-
from Elaine.
That
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to say the names because we do it once a month. Okay, so I'm going to go very quickly. We want to thank you, Antoinette Schiavo. We want to thank you because she upped her money, I believe. Bo Tunno. Thank you, Bo Tunno. Dave Chaffee Chippy Hippie Happy.
I
can
love
never say his
Chippy
name right.
Chappy Happy
Dave
Lappy.
Chaffee Hippie, who wrote our music up front. Thank you, Donovan Coburl. Thank you, Donovan
Colbert.
Gilberto Bravo. Gilberto or
Gilberto.
Gilberto?
It doesn't matter.
Either one, but it's very sexy, whatever his name is. Gunner, you know Gunner from Twitter, Carrie. You know Gunner with the little picture?
I do know Gunner.
We know Gunner. Thank you, Gunner. Jason Abram. Oh, Jason gave us a nice amount. Thank you, Jason.
How come I don't know how much you guys are giving?
I'm
She's got
I'm
the
gonna
stupid
show.
thing.
Jeffrey Lustig, thank you. Ken Muska. I don't know why. This is the
Ken
lifetime.
Muska.
Keep giving to the
Christopher-
help Patty heal from
Okay,
Elaine.
Ken
From
keeps,
Elaine. Yes.
Ken keeps making fun of me on Twitter. I'm gonna have to beat the crap out of him too.
Well, you are going to have to because I can't beat him up for you. You're going to have to do it.
Have you ever
Christopher-
met Ken?
No.
How come Ken you don't book her?
You should book me, Ken.
She's
Muska.
hilarious.
I know. Come on. Christopher Dinison. Thank you, Christopher.
These are made up names, Patty.
These are not. Marilena Perella. Thank you. Nicholas Guerrero. That sounds very hot. No Name Dennis.
That's
He sounds
another.
interesting.
Yeah, that's no
Okay.
name.
Ralph Carusillo gave us
Ralph
a nice
Macchio.
gave us a nice bundle. Samuel Gonzalez, thank you, and of course Sarah Klassen, who is one of. We have to thank Kevin Brennan for bringing her on, and she gave us a nice amount. Thank you, all of you, and anyone
Yes,
else who
thank
wants
you very
to give.
much.
Please
Give us to
subscribe.
www, right, Patty?
Yes. What is it? Patreon slash
Patreon.com/2tiredtwats.
Patreon.com.
Every week
slash
it's the same.
Two tired twats.
Patreon.com/.
2WO Tired Twats.
No, TWO.
TW.
TW, what did I say?
You said
2W.
2W.
Yeah, 2W is wrong.
That's not.
It's TWO, Tired Twats. Give us $1 every month and we'll be so happy.
Yeah.
We're getting our T-shirts and our hats made very soon.
And yes, we are. And you can give us a review only if it's good.
Help
No,
Patricia heal and emotionally rebuild. That divorce was very damaging.
That was very damaging too. I can't believe I've survived all this weird
I
shit.
can't either.
You know, the half
and
of
you have
it.
such a sweet attitude. You know, despite
so
this,
gullible.
I mean, this
Everybody sees that
mountainous
coming.
abuse that Elaine put her
Horrible.
through. Elaine
Thank
put
the
you through
comic
the
strip.
goddamn ringer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the comic strip. Thank
Yes.
you, Jeannie, Richie, Tommy. Thank you, the comic strip.
Yeah,
for
thank 80
And
seconds.
not to all our men in uniform out there. I just want to say.
all the firemen. Yes.
Oh, you boys, thank you for your service.
Did you ever do, what do you call it? Phone sex?
No.
You have a good
because they
phone
don't
sex
have
voice.
that anymore, Patty.
I know, that was when I was younger. Anyway, I did do that.
Okay, that was in 1950.
you did it?
I did do phone sex.
Oh, my God.
But not with live people, only with scripts. I used to write the scripts, and then, they would call in and they'd pick a blonde. You do a blonde, a brunette, or a redhead, and you do a different voice for each one. It was so fucking.
Fascinating.
What does a redhead sound like?
One of them would be like, one would be like cute, oh, honey, like a little girl, and then one would be like, oh, like rough, like yeah, and then the other one would be like, it would be all fucking stupid, you'd be like,
Wait, would they would just hear a recording of you?
Yeah, it would be a recording.
You'd never had to talk to them live.
No, they had the girls who did the lives. Forget it. That would have traumatized me. I would have killed myself. And we want to thank Adam Hineker. If you have a large ass, he'd like to meet you.
Adam wants to be acquainted
A
with your
very
big
large ass.
neighborhood-approved
If you're,
ass.
And if you're
yeah,
Latin-
if you work for Telemundo,
Yeah.
I'd love to
Right.
meet you.
If you're
No
thicker
white
than a
girls.
Snicker.
No white girls.
I'm not opposed to white girls.
Not opposed, but not turned
But
on.
not
Let's be
turned
honest.
on.
It just depends. They've
Not
got,
opposed, but not turned
they
on.
got really good personality.
Oh, fuck that bullshit.
Anyway, thank you, Rachel, for coming down.
Rachel,
we love you.
we
I
love that
you
you
to
came
death.
down.
Thank you. I had such a delightful time.
You are like one of our most famous. You've done more TV shows than anybody we've had on. Isn't that correct, Carrie?
I don't know. Has it
You did Conan. You did Conan.
Wait,
you did,
we had to tell. We had to tell. Hasn't he
Oh,
done
yeah.
a lot?
he's
Tells
done
a
more.
lot
Okay.
more
Tells
television
does.
but
than
you
me.
did Jimmy Kimmel, right?
No, I didn't do Kimmel.
Wait,
did
what
I
Conan.
did them, but not on
Conan.
the show. No, I'm kidding.
What other
I'm
late
kidding.
one? What other late one did you do? Did you,
Tonight Show and
Tonight Show?
Corbin. James Corbin. Corbin?
you did the one
Yeah.
with James Corbin?
Yes.
What? Did you get to sing with him or no?
No, we didn't sing. We hadn't started the singing thing.
Oh.
Wow, you've done
But,
a lot of
um,
fucking shows. Good for you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Exactly.
Thank you. And
And then next time we see you,
Well,
next
good luck.
time
I
you
hope you
come
have a
on our
baby.
show, because you're going to come on our show pregnant, okay?
okay, let's hope. Let's hope. Let's get knocked up out there.
All right, everybody.
Can
Good
we
night.
take out that part?
Good
All right.
Until
Bye.
next week,
Goodbye.
we love you all.
Yes. Thank you. You were lovely.
Fucking great